4th down and 6. Olbridge got to have it. Shotgun formation. Nugent, a lot of time. Rolls out. He's running out of space. Will roll the other way. They look. Corner of the end zone. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead. And the props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He'll throw it down the left sideline. He's got a wide open receiver. He's got the touchdown.
Motion man is Simmons. Trotman throwing towards Simmons down the field, and he makes the catch in traffic for a Bearcats touchdown.
Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in, here's Yoxon. Yoxon to the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move and shot, and he scores!
And Gracie comes set and delivers. And that's it on the ground to second. Throw to first, in time, and the ball game is over. South Shore survives a late scare, and they are the 2024 New York State Little League Baseball champions.
Live from the Warananko Arena in Roselle, New Jersey, PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into Week 4 of the American Arena League and coverage of the Jersey Bearcats as they take on the Columbus Lions in what is already an important midseason test for both teams. Good evening, everyone. My name is David Pizzuto alongside my broadcast partner, John McCooch, and we are about 15 to 20 minutes away from opening kickoff here from Warananko, and so we're proud to bring you coverage of the Brownstone Grill in Metuchen pregame show. John, welcome back to the arena. Both of these teams have been plenty busy since you and I were here last for the Bearcats opening night 3 weeks ago, and tonight is a big one.
Huge matchup here in Roselle tonight, like you said, and it's great to be back with the Jersey Bearcats. They went and took care of business on the first game of their 2-game road trip against the Mississippi Wolfpack. They won that one and dominated 42-8. The defense that this team emphasized, they want them to be intense and to continue to show out. They came to play again. Through the first 2 games of the season, this team had only 14 points, only allowed 14 points heading into Wheeling against the Miners. But unfortunately for the Bearcats, they were unable to sweep that road trip and suffered a 40-25 tough loss against Wheeling. Columbus, on the other hand, they are undefeated heading into this matchup and are riding high after a 62-28 win against the same Wolfpack. Dave, this team has scored 187 points through the first games of the season. That leads the AAL. So when you talk about defense with this Bearcats team, that is going to be tested tonight.
Yeah, it's a lot to break down, John, and let's start by referencing the importance of this game. And for that, we take a look up at the standings. You could take a look here, John. Keep in mind, these standings do take into account the exhibition games. Of course, Columbus beating the River Gators week 1 and the game that you and I covered between the Bearcats and the Eagles. But a win for the Lions tonight, they start to really pull away from the pack. A win by the Bearcats, they get even in the standings with ownership now of the head-to-head.
And Columbus obviously getting out to a 4-0 start will give them a ton of breathing room in terms of the standings. So this is a team, they're no stranger to being undefeated. The Lions in 2024, they capped off an undefeated season in the AIF with the championship. So this is a very good team the Bearcats are running into. And the Bearcats, they would love to even things up with the standings here, take down the top dog of the AL. But right now, if you just go off mutual opponents, Columbus, they only beat Wheeling by 2 points in a 46-44 thriller game. Meanwhile, the Bearcats, they lost against the same team by 2 possessions, road versus home matchup. But this is a huge game for Jersey. Not only get themselves right in the standings, but to continue to measure themselves against the rest of this great league.
All right, John. Well, we know how big a game it is for the Bearcats, especially returning home after a 2-game road swing and protecting their house. A couple of roster tweaks here and there, but what did you see from the Bearcats in that week 1 game we covered and the 2 road games on film to have us believing they're a contender here in this one?
I mean, their game against the Eagles was just pure dominance. Their physicality, pure matchup difference in terms of size and everything, athleticism on the defensive side of the ball was very apparent, and they made it impossible for the Eagles to move the ball. Constant pressure and some ill-advised throws, 2 of which ended up in the hands of Devontae LeGrand, who actually won't be playing tonight, so they'll be losing him. But defense is crucial here in the story. That was the same thing in Mississippi where they won that game by a ton because it didn't didn't allow under 10 points. So it looked like this is going to be a defensive powerhouse of the team after the first 2 weeks of the season, though. But when they got to Wheeling, a bit of a slip up against the Miners. The Bearcats, they were up 13-8 after the first quarter, but they gave us some deep plays, turned the ball over, and they just didn't establish that defensive dominance after that first quarter. So getting out to a good start, that's going to be a key again against a team like this. But keeping it going throughout the game, that's something that will be tested that they have to do against these Lions.
Well, they will need to show off some of those impressive attributes here tonight in what promises to be a much more difficult of a test than they had in their home opener. So let's chat a bit about the Columbus Lions. You know, we see some of their info on screen now. This is a franchise with deep roots. They've bounced around a bit from league to league, but the common denominator is that they are always a team to beat, and they're holding court so far in the AAL. 3-0, all at home so far. What are they doing to prove that they are the team to beat this season in the rebirth of the AAL?
Well, they did start their season by putting up 79 points in week 1, so that's kind of how you put teams on notice. But this offense has the ability to score and score a lot. When you talk about the Bearcat defense being tested, this is the hardest test of the book that you can find right here. They have had 2 dominant wins, and they have also shown that they can win in close matchups with their 2-point win over Wheeling. And yes, they have bounced a bit, but this is a team that has proven they can win championships, and they've been around for a long time. They were founded 20 years ago. But this Lions team is defending their house, scoring as often as possible, and dominating so far this season. But this is their first game on the road here tonight, and they have had to travel from their home in Georgia up to New Jersey. So in terms of this team, we will see tonight just how well this offense and their defense too travels. But as things stand right now, this is a team that seems to be the best in the AAL. But the Bearcats hope to change that narrative with a win tonight here at home.
Yes, absolutely. And that home field, a big advantage for the Bearcats. We'll talk about then. You can actually see it at the top of your screen. A low roof here, low ceiling in Waranaco. We're going to talk about that throughout the game, I'm sure. Well, definitely some things to think about, pay attention to here in Roselle. It's the 2-1 Jersey Bearcats looking to get back on track and send a few shockwaves in the arena, taking on the 3-0 Columbus Lions in their 2026 road debut. What John and I will do is step aside, take a break. When we come back, John goes down on the field to talk to some of tonight's participants. It's all coming up right here on the Brownstone Grill in Metuchen pregame show in anticipation of 6 p.m. kickoff right here on the PDF Sports Network. Stay with us.
Burgers are better at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
My weekend starts with the Brownstone burger, topped with cheddar, barbecue sauce, and a fried egg.
Give me the Hawaiian burger. I love the Canadian bacon and sweet pineapple.
How do you like your salads? Shrimp, chicken, beef?
Stop in and see why families are eating good at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
The Jersey Bearcats are proud to welcome the sounds of DJ Sparks for the 2025 football season. As heard on Blazing 98.5 FM, DJ Sparks is perfect for nightclubs, concerts, corporate and sporting events. Bringing the party to you. The best sounds and the best time with DJ Sparks. Contact DJ Sparks on social media, email, or by phone, and let's get the party started. DJ Sparks, proud supporter of the Jersey Bearcats.
Refined, restorative, results-driven. At CMX iMed Bar, we blend medicine, aesthetics, and wellness into one luxury experience, led by Dr. Angela Roque. Located in the heart of Pier Village, Long Branch. Visit cmximedbar.com or text 9089-232-694 to look better, feel better, live elevated.
Jersey Bearcats football is brought to you by Pino's Bakery. Located at 1027 Chestnut Street in Roselle, Pino's is your prime stop for specialty cakes, pastries, and deli delights. Always fresh and made to order, our family-owned shop prides itself on bringing our kitchen into your homes and your heart. Pino's is where family, tradition, and goodness are a daily thing. Visit us at 1027 Chestnut Street in Roselle or online at pinosbakery.net. Thank you to our friends at Pino's Bakery.
Attention local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
Welcome back to the Brownstone Grill in Metuchen pregame show as we get closer to kickoff here between the Bearcats and the Lions. My name is David Pizzuto, and my partner, John McCooch, is down on the field chatting with some of the Bearcats as they get ready. We're going to send it down now to John, who is with Claude Jones-Jules, the offensive and defensive lineman. Take it away, John.
Hi, I'm John McCooch, joined alongside Claude Jones-Jules, and here we got offensive lineman, defensive lineman, Bearcats coming off a loss last week, 2-game road trip. How did these guys kind of get back up to speed?
I mean, basically, we got to come out, execute. That's how we're going to get back. Because now we have to basically put out some aggression. Because of the fact we took that L, we got a chip on our shoulders. So we got to come out and play with that energy.
You're coming back at home today, big in front of the home fans. Youth night. How big is it to be back at home after a big road trip?
I mean, it feels good because now we at our home. So now we got our crowd base. So now anything we do is basically going to be that much more impactful. So now we just got to stay on our P's and Q's.
Everything defensive-wise, intensity has been the biggest thing. Gave up some points last week. Intensity is big. How do you guys kind of get back to that intensity and what you expect out of this defense?
Stay aggressive. Stay aggressive, stay aggressive, stay aggressive. Every single play, every single down. Staying aggressive.
It's all about being aggressive. Thank you so much, Dave. We'll be back up to you.
All right, that was Claude Jones-Jules talking about the interior and what they need to do tonight against the Columbus Lions on their home turf. Now let's send it back down to John, who's with defensive lineman Tyreek Noble. Take it away, John.
John McCooch alongside Tyreek Noble. Tyreek, road trip coming off a loss from last week. How do these guys kind of get back up to speed?
We just got to go out there and be dogs like we always are. We got to play the way we supposed to, the way we know we're supposed to play. You know, focus on the game, not get too much in our head, and do our jobs, and we'll be leaving here with a dub today.
And this team on the other side, undefeated, really good team, long program, a lot of track record. How do you guys not get intimidated by a team like this?
We don't usually get intimidated by anyone, but I don't know how to explain that because there's no intimidation here. I'm sorry about that.
And being back at home, how big is that? Obviously, that helps with something like that. I mean, you guys don't get intimidated by anybody, but being back at home definitely helps against a team like this.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And the fact that they had to come 16 hours from Georgia, we ready to put the belt to them. You know the vibes.
Yeah. Then how big is that? I mean, they go on the road. You guys just came off of the road. You guys know what that's like to be on the road.
Yep, and we just came off a tough loss, so we're just hungry. We're a little humble right now. When the whistle blows, we'll put the belt.
We'll see what they could do out here. Dave, back up to you.
All right, Tyreek Noble was there with John, expecting big things here at home and not intimidated. And John has room for one more, and that's going to be head coach A.J. Roquet, who met with John earlier. John, take it away.
John McCooch alongside A.J. Roquet, head coach of these Bearcats, and big road trip coming off a loss. How do you get these guys back up to speed here?
It's get back on the field, right? It's against a team like Columbus Lions, right? It's been around for 20 years. So, like, if you're not up for games like this, you shouldn't play the sport.
And I mean, that was my next question, right? This team, the Lions, really good team. You talk about the track record, you talk about the program, undefeated team. How do you guys kind of live up to that, really?
Just got to play our game, right? Play mistake-free football and just play football. That's it. Like, right? Play the players on the field, not the name on the jersey.
You're back at home, big road trip. How big is it to be back at home here with this team and all these fans and all your supporters out here?
Oh, traveling, thousands of miles the last 2 weeks. It's actually pretty cool. We flew to Atlanta, too. These guys are getting praised for flying up here. We flew also. So we need to get our apples too. But no, all serious note, playing at home is always better, right? You get your fans behind you. So, you get the crowd behind you, ninth man, you're ready to go, and it helps out.
You know everything about catching a flight on short notice. So thank you so much, and best of luck to you guys. Dave, back up to you.
All right, John and AJ, planes, trains, or automobiles, whatever it takes to get themselves down here, that is what they're doing. All right, even more things to consider as we get closer to kickoff. As John makes his way back up to the booth, we will take another break. When we come back, opening kickoff between the Bearcats and the Lions. It's all coming up next on your home for Bearcats football, the PDF Sports Network.
you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Kessler Rehabilitation Center are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at Kessler-PT.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
Zolnir Championship Rings is the official ring provider of the AAL, the AAL2, and your Jersey Bearcats. Zolnir provides class with excellence and is the perfect way to showcase perfection on the field of play. See the incredible selection and touch of class at Zolnir. Visit us at zchampionship-rings.com and see our competitive pricing. Give Director of Sales, Joseph Khalil, a call at 1-800-303-8548. Zolnir, official ring provider of the Jersey Bearcats and the AAL.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calp wanted to do a podcast. Everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen?
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials. Check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right thing.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
The PDF Sports Network is officially seeking sponsors for the 2026 Vetera Liga season. The Vetera Liga is the top professional American football league in Finland, and now, for the first time, is available in the English language and in the U.S., courtesy of PDF. Join us as we make history by showcasing the Maple League to a new worldwide audience. Our partnership with the Vetera Liga was recently featured in International Business Journal as a groundbreaking venture that in 2025 earned us a Global Recognition Award and a GHP Magazine Award for Best Local Live Broadcasting in the nation. It's time to bring our coverage to the next level and showcase your products and business to local and international audiences. Show your support now by calling us at 732-723-8189 or by emailing pdfsportsnet@gmail.com.
We are back here live, and we are going to send it downstairs to Aaliyah Mansfield, who will sing tonight's national anthem appropriately on Youth Night. She was with us last week, Aaliyah Mansfield, dazzling us at halftime, I should say 3 weeks ago for the home opener here. The Bearcats have been on the road last 2 weeks, but a nice rendition there, a cappella of the national anthem. And we're about to have our coin toss and get things ready. And John, a little bit of final thoughts here in this one. We spoke about it during the open. You went downstairs and spoke to a couple of the interior offensive and defensive linemen. Of course, head coach A.J. Roque. What are some of the keys to the game here for the Bearcats on their home field?
I mean, the biggest thing I thought about heading into this game, you got an undefeated team, a team that's kind of emerging as a top dog. They almost scored 80 points in their first game. That's why I kind of asked that question. Are you intimidated by this team?
Right.
And they gave me the right answer. We're playing Bearcat football. So that's going to be the biggest thing here. Obviously, had some injuries on the defensive side of the ball. You have no Legrand, no Ramirez. So that's going to be tough to deal with, Rodriguez. There's going to be tough to deal with right there. So you have to fill in everything going on there defensively, still bring that intensity no matter who's on the field for you. But figuring out how you're going to figure out injuries, not being intimidated by a great team, they sound like they're ready to do that. So we'll see what the Bearcats can do. But mentally, they seem to be in a good position. Obviously, so does Columbus. They seem to be all business. They were warming up to Broadway music and had no problem doing so. So it's a team that you can tell is locked in and run like a business, as are the Bearcats. But this is going to be a good game today, Dave.
Yes, and conversely, you spoke about Columbus warming up to the Walt Disney soundtrack and some show tunes. But, again, all business as well. They've been ripping through the league so far. Of course, they had that 2-point victory, have proven that they can win the tough game as well. What's on their checklist that they have to kind of check off to get out of here with their first road victory of the season?
Well, the biggest thing you got to remember if you're Columbus, you're not playing at home. You played 3 straight games at home, and again, the crowd's here, and youth night is a great night. There's going to be a lot of animosity, I guess, towards Columbus. So they're the top dog. They have to realize they're not at home. They're playing on a new field, and again, you don't have the same kind of walls as well. You have to adjust to the glass. It's going to be something tough for Columbus. The Bearcats are used to it after playing a game there, but you have to realize it's a team that's ready. The Bearcats, you're playing against a team. If you're Columbus playing against the Bearcats, you're playing against a team that's back at home, ready to right the ship. That's a tough team to play against, especially with a well-coached team. So Columbus, they're on the road for the first time this season, playing against a really good team that wants to get things right. That's never easy to do, no matter what you can talk about on paper and all of those great things. So Columbus, they cannot underestimate the Bearcats. I'm sure they haven't, but that's kind of the big thing here.
Yeah, and you mentioned getting off to a good start, John, and the Bearcats won the coin toss, and they have elected to receive. And that's something that they will do no matter what, no matter who they're playing against. It's because they really want to be able to set the tone. So right here, right now, you have really your first face-off of this game. The Bearcats looking to set the tone for the entire game, and Columbus could send some shockwaves here in what is already a pretty quiet crowd so far, maybe a little bit late arriving as well. But they have a chance here to stifle the Bearcats on the first drive and set the tone for the game themselves with their defense.
Yeah, the defense is going to be huge. Again, this Columbus offense, we haven't seen it on the PDF Sports Network just yet, but we've seen it in some other places, and they can move the football. They've got 2 quarterbacks that can throw the ball really well, and just kind of watching their warm-ups, they had some drops I saw in warm-ups, but that's something that usually kind of gets right as you go along, and they have 2 good quarterbacks. Obviously, Mateo Rodriguez on the Bearcat side. This is going to be a good quarterback matchup against some really tough defenses. It's never easy, and we got some great performances today, too. Again, it's going to be a nice environment. Once those fans kind of file in a little bit more, I think things will get a little bit better for the Bearcats here in terms of the home field advantage. But Columbus, they're a well-oiled machine, and the Bearcats, they're a tough, gritty defensive team, which is never easy to play against. So Columbus, it's all about if they can put it together on the road for the first time. I mean, yes, starting your season out playing 3 games at home is great. It's cool. You start out 3-0, but for the Bearcats, they got to get tested. They got to get that road trip out of the way early in the season in the second 3 games. So Columbus has a bit to adjust to in the beginning of the game, and the Bearcats have done a great job in the first quarter of all of their games so far this season. So if the Bearcats can get out to a good start and have this defense, while a bit hurt, can kind of get things right, that may be the key here. This first quarter is going to be huge for the Bearcats here to win this game.
Yeah, the Bearcats have had a first quarter lead in every game this season. Of course, they dropped the game to the Wheeling Miners last week. But we'll get set here for opening kickoff, and it will be the Jersey Bearcats going from right to left on your screen, and the Columbus Lions will get us situated here from the left. Yeah, we mentioned it in the open as well. These low ceilings here prevent you from that one-play touchdown if you're deep in your own drive. You have to be disciplined enough to play 5 and 10 yards at a time in this building. And that's something that the Bearcats do extremely well. Heck, Columbus does it well too, but we've seen Columbus throw it 20, 30, 40 yards in the air as well in their other games. That's not going to be the case tonight.
Yeah, it's a big thing Wheeling did in that game against the Bearcats as well. Got a big, deep play.
A one-hopper. It goes to Tariq Pusey. Pusey takes a big hit, but it's on Columbus's side of the field. And we have a 1st and 10 coming up for the Bearcats in very favorable territory. Lions fired up about the hit.
Right. I mean, that's what you got to do. We talk about setting the tone about every open we ever do, probably. That's setting the tone. You get a big hit. You kind of set everything ready to go. Okay, we're going to hit hard. We're going to hit hard today. You're not going to have fun when you get home. We got to get in the ice bath tonight. That's a big thing right there. But the Bearcats, you can get hit all you want. If you got good field position, you're in a good spot to win games.
So officially at the 22, they'll start this drive at the Columbus side of the field. 1st and 10, obviously all 4 downs. They have to use them. Possible field goals in play as well. The Bearcats do have a new kicker in this game that we did not see 3 weeks ago during the opener. In motion is Stewart. Instead, it's the give underneath. Naz Adams, head of steam, breaks through one into padding, and he'll have enough for a 1st down.
I'm going to say the cliche phrase again, setting the tone. That's how you do it. You get hit, doesn't matter. Get a nice run up the left side right there. That was perfect. I was just going to mention how big this defensive line is for Columbus, but the Bearcats, they're big as well, and they did a great job just stuffing and allowing that run to happen. But they got to keep it going.
Bearcats want to go quickly here. It's 1st and goal. Apologize for the rebound. Oh, we got a face mask on Mateo Rodriguez. Everybody knew it in the building, and the guilty party was DeAndre Brown, who was in the backfield, just went a little bit too high on the grab.
That can happen. This Columbus team was very fired up, kind of came in with a bit of an attitude, and when you play like that to start games out, you can get some penalties. You can kind of make those mistakes mentally early in the beginning of the game, and we just saw that right there from Brown.
Yeah, so it'll be a half the distance penalty here. It'll still be 1st and goal. They'll move it just outside the 5-yard line. Probably should have been inside the 5, but
I'm not a ref.
Yes, we'll let them handle that.
Yeah.
But from just outside the 5-yard line, it'll be 1st and goal for the Bearcats. They're about to run their 2nd play from scrimmage. Drive that started on the Lions 22. Coming all the way around is Stewart. Adams off tackle, right side, still churning and bouncing down to about the 1.5-yard line before he was put down by, I believe it was Harvey in on the stop. Actually, it was number 17, Myron Green. Last one to bring him down. Just outside the 1, 2nd and goal. Stewart again, the man in motion. The give underneath and going nowhere fast. There is a flag down as coming out of that scrum without a helmet was Zahir Rittman for the Bearcats, and that might be an illegal hands to the face call on a play where Adams went for about -3.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's the call, especially considering, I mean, if the helmet comes off, somebody had to push it off. His helmet's not going to fall off. Oh, it's offside now.
But it'll still be 2nd and goal now from the 1-yard line instead of the 2. See what the Bearcats are trying to do, John, and really establish the run here and, establish the physical play up front. Keep the Lions right at the line of scrimmage, and maybe later on in the game you can go over top. Adams remains in the game to Rodriguez's right side. Stewart will be the one coming in from the bottom of your screen. The give again. Adams going nowhere. Hands it back to Rodriguez, and he just slides down at the 5. Dangerous play, and the Lions there to make the big stop. 3rd and goal coming up.
That was a dangerous idea, unless if maybe he thought Rodriguez could throw that football since it was behind the line of scrimmage. And we got Brown hurt on the play, DeAndre Brown.
Yeah.
Down. I think he's holding something there.
Yeah, coming in to replace him was Colin Needy. Needy was listed as 25 on our roster in case you have him as 25. He is wearing 44 tonight for the Lions. So Colin Needy checks into the game. 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. We talked about this 3 weeks ago, John. Sometimes this area of the field is more advantageous than being at the 1 or 2. You just got a little bit more real estate to work from.
Absolutely. I mean, having that space, you can set more passing plays up right here. We'll see if they kind of go to it.
Well, we have our first pass of the game. We will. Rodriguez, a lot of good time. Now being rushed by Needy, and he throws it away into the glass. And it'll be 4th and goal coming up.
Again, just to remind those who have not seen a ton of arena football, no punting, no kicking really. Well, there's field goals, but no punting. Yep. So they will.
And field goals are on the table,
yes,
and that is
absolutely.
what they are doing.
Absolutely.
Josue Hernandez Paez, I believe, is coming in. Indeed.
That was going to be my question. Should they take a field goal here? And I guess they will.
So we're going to see Hernandez-Paez for the very first time this season go for a field goal for the Bearcats. Our kicker on opening day was Anthony Starego. And officially, this will be spotted at the 13-yard line for this kick. Add the 8 more yards in the end zone. 21 yards out. It has to be a line drive. These low ceilings will play a big factor in the kicking game as well. Snap, good. Spot, down. The kick right into the back of the offensive lineman. Live ball. It ends up in the end zone, and a late takedown on top of that. Guys are bottled up at about the 5-yard line as well. There's a couple of scrums going on different sides of the field. Now some benches are emptying just to get guys off the field. Little embellishment by Tariq Noble out of screen, but you know, all things considered, we let this continue here, John, and we'll get the aftermath of all of this stuff.
Right. I haven't seen a flag on the field just yet.
Alex, do me a favor. Pan out a little bit on that camera. There you go. Let's get the whole thing in case the referees need to review after the game. And, yeah, you know, lost in all of that and that little scuffle at the end, John, great hold by the Lions. We're talking about, you know, a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line, and the Lions able to hold. That's a nice job.
It's huge, and again, they get the benefit of the kick not going the way of the Bearcats, but they got a huge stop in the red zone, and this is that Columbus team not phased by a team getting down on their side of the field and getting in the red zone, and this is still going on, and we'll, again, see what the result of it all is, but well, Columbus with a huge stop.
One thing I did not see was any flags.
Right.
So the ball's going to be spotted at the 4-yard line.
It's Georgia toughness versus Jersey toughness right now.
And they are jawing between the benches.
Yeah. The thing is,
don't know if they can hear each other.
I don't think so.
But they're jawing it up.
These are two states when you talk about football and you go back to high school football, these states know how to talk. That's the biggest thing, and they're doing a lot of it, and sometimes it turns into something.
You see it. You saw it on the top left of your screen. Under 8 minutes to play here in the first quarter, so we are halfway through. 7.5 to be exact. And it will be Blaine Espinoza to start things off. And we do have a whistle here. Could this be a timeout, an official timeout? And they are looking at the replay, John. They are looking at the replay down by the booth. If Alex wants to get the officials here at the booth, they are looking at the iPad. Oh, they're actually being obscured by the speaker.
The speaker is a slight issue for our camera here, but so the iPad you brought is getting used early, Dave.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Didn't have it in week 1.
Yeah, they did reset the clock to 10:31 on the clock, so I think the clock was running through that whole aftermath, right, John, after the play, and the referees have come down, and maybe that's what they were looking at, is what the correct time was on the field.
Makes sense. Again, we didn't see it. There's still no flags and no flags at all. Didn't see anyone get tossed from this game either, so it seems all the officials are kind of just letting that go on. Usually you'll see kind of mutual, offsetting penalties, if anything, or 2 unsportsmanlikes given out in other levels of football, but it seems the officials are just kind of going, okay, we don't want to establish any penalties or ejections this early into the game. Let the guys kind of get that out of the way and then keep it going. But
lengthy delay. I don't know if this was time-based or looking at the aftermath of that play.
I would guess it's time, but not sure how allowed you are.
Yeah, because it has to be the arena's Wi-Fi. We don't, we're good. The arena's Wi-Fi is. We're going to throw it downstairs to Cameron Williams, who's downstairs. Cam?
Yeah, so they need the Wi-Fi password. They actually want to see the broadcast. We're trying to see more of what they want, but obviously here there's a lot of arguments about just about anything. We saw in that first drive 2 scuffles, major scuffles, but they want the Wi-Fi. They want to see the broadcast. Obviously there was no flags. Now there seems to be a flag out there, if I do see that correctly. But yeah, there's just a lot of talk between the coaches right now. Fans are now yelling on Columbus side, just saying play football, and that's what we're here to do, Dave. But There's a lot of argument early.
All right.
So the delay is due to the Wi-Fi password.
That is what I'm told.
Fantastic.
So who'd have thought? We were here thinking, oh, it's the scuffle, it's the time on the clock. But, yeah, you know, that's the one thing about this arena too, John, is we operate off of Wi-Fi. There is no hardwired Ethernet in this place. And right before we were supposed to go on the air, we were actually knocked off the air. We managed to get back on because we have a hotspot that we operate off. But the infrastructure downstairs and the Wi-Fi downstairs is the arena's Wi-Fi. So if they got booted out of there, they don't have access to the replay system. So
someone's got to go on their phone and pull up the PDF Sports
Somebody's got to get on that hamster wheel and get the Wi-Fi going here.
Someone's got to have unlimited cellular data, maybe.
All right, so there was a 10-yard penalty at the end of that play.
Right.
And Espinosa is going to work under center here. That's a fumble. The ball was down. Espinosa able to clear it. He throws it right to his bench. And it was handled there. Lost it down, 2nd and 10.
So again, that's early by the Bearcats, and you kind of get that fumble situation going. Obviously, after a scuffle and everything, you get a little bit of jitters, and you kind of got to get settled back into playing football. So mistakes like that can happen, and that's a big thing that we've noticed in arena ball is center to quarterback relationships are so important, and the ability to have consistent snaps every play, that's also so important. And the Lions have not had issues with that this season, but seeing things like that early on, see if that kind of trends in the right direction for the Bearcats.
You don't see quarterbacks under center very often in the arena game, especially the ones that we've had here. But the bobble of the snap. 2nd and 10, quick throw, fired it out. Great catch and a first down as they move the sticks. Jacob Smith sitting there in the low zone, able to head upfield before Nick Price could take him down. First down on Jersey's side of the 50, 25.
That was thing number one that I noticed when watching the quarterbacks in warm-ups. They can throw the ball hard and harder than we kind of see really in a lot of arena games. These quarterbacks can throw the ball very quickly, get the ball out fast, and that's what Columbus is doing so far. And a great connection right there for Espinosa. But that's what we've noticed. These quarterbacks are very good, and Espinosa, quick, zip it, make the connection, keep the ball moving.
Fortson had to come back to the bench for a new helmet or a helmet issue. That was the reason for the brief delay there, but they wind the clock back up. And we are approaching the 9-minute mark here in the first quarter. First play here on Jersey's side of the field. Espinosa will continue to work under center. They play tight. Creedle going now from right to left. Gets the arc, and there was movement on the left side of that line. And Tyreek Noble came across as well. I think this, they're going to call it on the Bearcats, but there was definitely a flinch by Jaleel Mathis-Ellis on the left side of that line. I don't know if we can get another look at it, Joe, if we scrub it back. There was a little bit of a flinch there, but instead, this one's going against Jersey.
It's always tough to tell, and you have to watch for flinches on the leg and the shin, and it didn't seem like Noble was arguing too much about it. So at the end of the day, quick penalty, but the Lions get to move forward just a bit more, and it's a costly penalty. Those small ones add up.
1st and 5 instead. We'll see if they run the same exact play. Creedle again in the high arc, going from right to left. The look is in his direction, out in the flat. The catch is made, first down, and driven into the boards is Creedle by the tandem of Nick Price and Kyle Ward.
When you're able to find the receiver in motion, he finds a way to get to that spot, and it's a great connection. Again, that's thing number one on this first drive. The Lions are just moving the ball easily. They're moving the ball quickly. They're not having long developing plays down the field. It's just quick outs, keep the ball going. And Espinosa just looks calm and under center, something I was not expecting today, but it's working.
Good second look at that play. And it'll set up a 1st and goal coming up. Spotted at about the 8-yard line, just shy of it. Creedle giving it off to Lee. Lee powers down. Marco Lee gets taken down at about the 4-yard line. So he got about 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal from there.
Nice small gain. And again, now we talk about this on the last drive. The Lions right in on the doorstep of this end zone. Are they a team that operates well in these situations, or is the lack of space, especially on this kind of field, is the lack of space going to make things harder for the Lions more so than being at the 7 or 8 yard line?
Ball spotted at the 3-yard line right now, and it'll be 2nd down and goal. The Bearcats are arguing something, and not sure exactly what they're arguing, but there is a timeout called here. They trying to pick it up on the public address what this call might have been, but we never did get a signal as to who.
There's arguing aplenty in this game.
Oh, it's an official timeout.
Okay.
It's an official timeout. And with that official timeout, we will get our timeout sponsor on the board.
We got things up here again. Time on the board as we get a break in the action here, Dave.
All right, so with the timeout in the first half, it's all about fitness. Our contestants are doing their thing, and it's sponsored by Infinite Athletic Training, located in Piscataway, New Jersey. When it comes to athletic training, healthcare, rehabilitation, fitness, sports performance, return to play, and athlete recovery, Infinite Athletic Training's clinicians are the go-to providers for youth and adult athletes and those leading active lifestyles. IAT has been providing knowledgeable, compassionate, and patient-centered care to thousands of athletes over the last 20 years. Work one-on-one with them and let Infinite Athletic Training help unlock your performance potential or get you back in the game. Visit them at infiniteathletictraining.com or give them a call at 732-783-4973. Thank you to our friends at Infinite Athletic Training.
Always a big thank you to the sponsors, but it's going to be interesting. And again, we mentioned Blaine Espinoza, the quarterback of the Lions, played his ball at Thomas More, played 11 games in 2022, and has now found himself, after 11 touchdown season over there, almost 2,000 yards that year for Thomas More. He finds himself here in Columbus playing some arena ball. And again, you can tell that he has a ton of experience playing in college, playing around, and he can really zip this football. And like a lot of the quarterbacks that we see, he's emerging as a top quarterback, really, for the Columbus Lions.
Yeah. And getting back to what we were saying before about the Wi-Fi signal, John, and we are at the mercy of that. If we should go off the air for whatever reason, because it does happen from time to time, we will have the entire game recorded and posted up later anyway, and we will get you right back on the air as soon as we possibly can. It's just some things are out of our control here in Warananko Arena, and that's one of them. Espinoza. Give off the shovel to Lee. Lee is bottled up in the backfield, still churning, still going. Do we have a whistle? Now we do, as he's roped into the boards by Sadiq Nathaniel. Finally got about halfway there, but it'll be 3rd and goal from just inside the 2.
When you have a running back, obviously you didn't score on that play, but when you have a running back that can make it so that way you need 5 or 6 guys to bring him down, that is going to wear and wear and wear as the game continues and goes along, as long as he can keep churning.
Looks like it's a keeper. And it's a touchdown. We get the signal a little bit late, but it came up, and 6 points on the board for the Lions to start this one here on their opening drive. Power football there towards the end, John.
They had Cradle just pushing Espinoza in the back. Not necessarily a tush push, but a back push. And that worked out. That worked great for the Lions. It's a very simple play. Push your quarterback and get him in there. And when you have less players on the field, that play can work.
Yep. Our leverage against your leverage. We'll see who wins, and that time the Lions did. They're up 6-0, and they will go for 2. Espinoza, as he has this entire drive, will work under center. He does have Marco Lee to his left.
No kicker for Columbus on the roster.
In motion is Jacob Smith. The timing pattern in the back of the end zone. Touchdown. Coverage was there, but the throw was even better. And Jacob Smith there to haul it in. 8-0 Lions.
You could see Jacob Smith had the positioning the entire way. Smith just went up and got this football. It's an awesome throw by Espinoza as well to loft it up. Not much that Miko could do.
So clock will stop with 5:40 to go here in the first quarter. The Lions have drawn first blood, 8-0 on the Bearcats. We talked about how important getting off to a good start was going to be in this game. The Bearcats elect to get the ball first. They get a short field. They can't punch it in from 1st and goal from about the 5-yard line, and the Lions were able to return the favor with 8 points of their own, and now the pressure squarely on the backs of the home squad.
Yeah, the Bearcats had an opportunity on their first possession. In Columbus, they found a way to get a defensive stop and immediately responded. This Bearcats team, when you go against a team that plays as efficiently, offensively, as Columbus does, your physicality can only do so much if they can get the ball out so quickly. And those injuries on the defensive side for the Bearcats kind of showing on that one because, again, they didn't have, the big defensive linemen to go out and get there. The secondary, maybe LeGrand makes that play on the 2-point conversion right there if he's in right now. So they have to kind of work things out and figure things out. But Columbus, they look to fit the bill right now in this game.
They have reset the clock to 6:22. 6:22 remaining. You saw it on your screen. There's a good kick. It ends up at about the 6-yard line. Taken there by the Bearcats. Good head of steam and a nice job of moving the legs. Joey Ward gets to midfield, maybe just outside of it, and will work in Columbus Lions territory here for the second straight possession. Good return by Ward.
If you can continue to give yourself opportunities on special teams, you have to take advantage of them, but this is a really good way to find the gap, take a little bit of a hit right there, and give yourself good field position, as the official was unable to get the ball into the bench right there.
Missed it all.
He's got to go get it. But really good special teams play right now, and special teams is going to be key in this game.
So they'll actually spot the ball just inside the 25, not outside, and the Bearcats, for all intents and purposes, will have a good area of the field to work with here. We've seen them take shots from about this part of the field, maybe trying to go over top of that defense. You could see how close to the line these Lions work. Look, the farthest player back is only 5 yards from scrimmage. Rodriguez, quick look to right, now over top, and unfortunately unable to bring it in was the wide receiver Sadiq Nathaniel, playing both ways in this one. Big target, had 9 catches in the opening game for the Bearcats. That was his first target tonight.
First target. You talked about his 9 catches in the last game. This was the farthest that we've seen him go down the field. It was a lot of quick outs. They went for the deep ball in this one, and it was awesome coverage there on that play by the quarterback. But kind of couldn't get that too outside enough. Maybe could have went more inside with that football, but it was good coverage. And again, that's the furthest we've seen Nathaniel go. He's an out route receiver, quick routes. I was surprised to see him go deep.
Yep, it's a Bearcats team that ran the ball, I think, 4 or 5 straight times on their last drive. Rodriguez always a threat to run himself as well. Looking middle of the field, and it is almost intercepted. Just undercutting it was Groel Green on the intended receiver, Todd Simmons. Simmons might have had a half a step if that was towards his back shoulder. Instead, it was on his inside shoulder, and it was almost picked.
Green makes an awesome play right here, diving for the football. It kind of went a little low. Rodriguez trying to find his connection. Yeah, like you mentioned, could have found that shoulder a bit, but it was an awesome play by this quarterback. And this secondary for Columbus really having a good 2 plays right there.
Todd Simmons, one of those receivers who, if it's in his orbit, he has the ability to come down with it. He does not drop many passes. So if that one's a little bit high and to his outside shoulder, that's going to be a touchdown. Just hard, just a difficult window to get it in from. 3rd down and 10. Bearcats need at least a little chunk here. They want Sadiq to go in motion. Sadiq Nathaniel at the bottom of your screen. He'll come in it. And now we're going to have a whistle here for a delay of game penalty or a false start on the Bearcats. So 3rd and 10 becomes 3rd and 15.
Now they'll need a big play. After the run was working for them on that first drive, they weren't able to punch it in. But now you're in the 3rd and long, and you give up a penalty. That's the last penalty you want to get right there. Now the Bearcats are in a tough spot. This is a situation where they have to kind of work on this here. You get 2 downs to work through it, but you want to back yourself up even more here.
Wouldn't be surprised if you see Mateo Rodriguez run with one here. Try to get, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards on this play. Make it a 4th down and a little bit more manageable. But we'll see. They are huddling up. The Bearcats don't do a great deal of huddling during games, but they are taking their time here in this huddle. They want the music turned down a little bit here in the arena. They can't hear themselves think.
There's been a few times where I've done a game with you, and the DJ has had to quiet down. I remember one time it was the road DJ. The road team was saying, you cannot play that music when we're on the field offensively.
Such a small arena. The acoustics here, they boom. Adams to the right of Rodriguez, picking up the blitz. Rodriguez tucks it down. He's going to get sacked. Loss of 5 on the play. They came in with 4, and it'll be 4th down and 19 coming up.
The size and athleticism of this defensive line shows out yet again. Columbus, they have it, and they really do. They got to this quarterback, and nothing much Rodriguez was really able to do. Just immediately just stuffed that play. Rodriguez tried to step up, tried to escape, and you mentioned him wanting to use his legs a little bit more. He tried to do that right there because it was his only choice, and Rodriguez gets brought down by the big fellas up front.
So what does a team have dialed up on a 4th and 19 from their own 16-yard line? We're about to find out. It's going to have to start with good protection for Rodriguez. We'll see how many the Lions bring. They bring 4. Good protection, and that one's elevated, and not expecting it was Simmons. And the Bearcats will turn it over on down.
Rodriguez faced a little bit of, he just never turned around. Simmons never knew this football was on the way.
Right.
And Rodriguez couldn't make that connection, but Rodriguez, he had to get rid of this football, and Simmons thought that route was going to have to develop a little bit more before a ball could even come his way, but Simmons just wasn't ready for that football. Still a lot of chatter as well between receivers and corners and everything, and it has been a tough going for the Bearcats right now.
So the ball was spotted at the 16. They moved it to the 17. Now it's back at the 16. So that's a good job by the men in stripes. And for the second time tonight, the Lions will have very good field position with which to work from. Inside Bearcats territory at the 16-yard line.
And again, the Lions, they've got a chance here to go up 2 possessions if they find a way to punch this into the end zone and get a field goal. So a big turning point drive for both teams in this game.
Clock starts to run, 2:10 remaining here in the first quarter. Espinoza with Lee to his left. 3 wide receivers, top of your screen. The fake, and there's the low hanger in the zone. They caught the Bearcats fooled that time, and Jermon Fortson is in there for the touchdown, and it makes it a 14-0 game.
They're going to go for 2 here, but a beautiful connection. The pump fake got the corner to bite. Wide open receiver, touchdown. You can tell that this is an offense run by an experienced college quarterback. And just bit on that play.
Pusey, you saw number 22, Tyreek Pusey, bite down, and you understand it. If that one's going out in the flat, he needs to be there. Instead, they dropped it right into the middle of the zone. 1 wide receiver going deep. And there we go, 14-0 with 1.5 to go here. And there's the shovel over to Lee. Lee looking for that corner, gets stood up. Is he in? Yes, indeed he is. 2 more points for the Lions, and they've officially doubled up on the Bearcats, 16-0.
16-0 is your score. Again, a big run. Maybe we'll be able to see how he got into this end zone. He was bounced on the wall just a bit, but the Lions look like the Lions that you expected to see in this game, and the Bearcats down early. And we do mention the golden football is always a thing. You can take the ball when you're down 14 points. Second and fourth quarters, you can take the ball and you can get double your points when you score. So that may be something we see once we get around closer to the second quarter for this Bearcats team. And that's always a rule in this game that keeps every team in the game. But Columbus, everything is dialed up and ready to go here on the road. They do not look like they had a long flight. They do not look like they traveled. They are comfortable and ready to roll in this game right now.
They might have been. The Bearcats might have been thinking about challenging that play or at least calling attention to it. That was the reason for a little bit of the delay. But with 1:26 to go in the first, the Lions have a 16-0 lead over the Bearcats. They are 2 for 2 on their offensive possessions here in this one. The Bearcats 0 for 2 on theirs. And as John mentioned, in the second and fourth quarter of games, the golden ball does come into availability for these teams. And you wonder, I don't know if the drive continues into the second. If you could switch it, probably can't. Probably has to start the drive. But a squibbing kick, end over end. It is taken by Nathaniel. Nathaniel is a threat. He gets stood up at the wall, made one guy miss, and is taken out at about the 16-yard line. And the Bearcats are going to have dynamite field position here on their 3rd offensive drive.
Like you said, the 3rd time that they've had great field position. And, that's better than the last 2. But they have great field position and 0 points to show for it so far. So they have to start taking advantage. They almost had a monster block as well on that special teams play. It was Joey Ward coming in. But they have to find a way to start getting things rolling. This Lions defense has been stout.
And that's the thing, John. We spoke about how the Bearcats like to run 5 and 6 and 7 yards at a time. And really, the first drive, they were able to run the football with a little bit of success, but the second drive was all about putting it up deep. And that's, I don't want to say it's not their game, but they work best when they're working in small little chunks. Let's see if they get back to that. Low snap, and Rodriguez has no choice but to fall down on it. Loss of 5 on the play. And it'll be second down and actually 14 coming up as they mark it for a 4-yard loss. This is just another tough break.
Tough break, yeah. That snap just came in low, and Rodriguez does a good job of
and
getting on that football.
It looked like the play was to Ward underneath on the delay, and it looks like they had something materializing with the blocking on the left side of the line there. So what could have been, perhaps, but on 2nd and 14, now you might not have a choice. You might have to put this ball up in the air. Stewart, the motion man. And there's another bad snap. It's picked up on the fly by Yancey, and he walks it in for the touchdown. That snap went off the helmet of Joey Ward. There is a flag down late, possibly for a block in the back or something. So we'll get a review on that, or we'll get a consensus on that. But for now, the Lions, via their defense, have gone up by 3 scores.
I think that's Rittman, number 65, if I've seen correctly. Slow to get up after that play.
And I wonder if we're going to see that again. It's a holding call on the Lions, I believe, on the return.
Yes, the offense is on the field for Columbus right now.
Yep.
So I guess that touchdown off the board, but Yancey able to recover that football and get really far down the field.
You're going to see it, John. It looks like the snap went off the helmet, indeed, yeah. And Rodriguez was more interested in making the tackle, just couldn't do it. And, you could see Rittman getting taken down there late. And so that'll take the points off the board. So it'll be 16-0. And with 5.9 seconds left in the first quarter, the Columbus Lions are going to have it 1st and 10 via the turnover. Columbus is looking for a ball to put in play. One that says Lions on it.
Someone's got to get a football, but...
Yep, there's no football on the field. There it comes.
Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed, was it went off of Ward's helmet. It was... I'm not sure exactly where the error there is, if the snap just went left or if Ward moved too quickly on that play, wasn't able to...
Yep.
It seemed like just a cacophony of errors offensively on that one, and it led to a turnover and a return. And turnovers were an issue against Wheeling as well for the Bearcats, but...
Yep, and something we'll have to talk to Coach Roque about at halftime is the unforced errors. John, you saw it 2 back-to-back. The poor snap, the low snap that forced a 5-yard loss, and then, of course, the poor snap that ends up off the helmet. In any event, Lions have it 1st and 10 at the Bearcats' 15-yard line. Fortson was the one in motion. They look underneath and rolling in for the touchdown. Once again, there was a flag down. Jacob Smith with his second grab. And we'll have to see what the flag is first. It's declined, then it'll be a touchdown. So the Lions add 6 more points, make it 22-0 on the 15-yard touchdown catch from Espinoza to Jacob Smith. And on one play, the Lions are able to go up by 3 scores.
For the Lions, 2 plays offensively, 2 touchdowns right now, at least on the last 2 drives. And it's a good connection. No safety, able to provide a hit over the top, and Smith able to just get in the end zone. It made it look easy. This offense has really made things look easy, this Columbus team.
After this 2-point conversion, we're going to throw it down to Cameron Williams. That ball is live on the 2-point conversion. Here's Nathaniel getting tripped up, and a saving of 2 points of that one. That's a good tackle right there on the play that was blown up. But the 2-point conversion is failed. That is the end of the first quarter as well. Let's throw it down to Cameron Williams.
Yeah, rough first quarter offensively and defensively for the Bearcats there. There was a lot of talk in the real locker room here going in, talking with all the players and coaches. They want to be aggressive. They want to be fast, and it has not worked out for them so far. Back-to-back fumble snaps. That is a trouble between the center and Mateo Rodriguez, but nonetheless, you have to give it up for Blaine Espinoza on the other side. He's throwing the ball very well for Columbus, but the Bearcats are going to have to look to the defense. They need to make stops, and they need that to help them on the way for offensive scoring. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks a lot, Cameron. Yep, and we will have a brief break here in between quarters for the Lady Bearcats, but John, it gives us a chance to kind of break this down. On opening day of the season, the Columbus Lions, I believe, had a 25-0 lead over the Tri-City River Gators, ended up winning that game by 79 points. Very important for the Bearcats to try to get themselves back in this game.
Yeah, you don't want to end up on the opposite side of one of those scores, and the Bearcats very well could. This Bearcats team offensive, it's really just offensively, right? They're doing everything right on special teams right now. They're putting themselves in good positions. And then obviously when you turn the ball over, you're not going to do much right there. It was 2 bad snaps. And like Cam mentioned, the center quarterback connection is huge, especially in arena football. It's a big thing right now, and it's going to make things work if Columbus, if the Bearcats are able to figure it out. Columbus had a couple of issues with it earlier in the game. They figured it out. They right the ship, but they're up 22-0. The Bearcats have to find a way to get this center quarterback connection rolling right now, because it just can't happen if you want to win this game against a really good football team.
Yeah, and you go back to that very first drive where the Lions committed a penalty. They gave the Bearcats a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line, and the Bearcats just could not get it in, and therefore really just couldn't establish, rhythm or, momentum in this game at all. And then the Columbus Lions really just haven't missed a beat offensively, and it just seems like they're hitting the Bearcats with, a right hook and a left hook and, a couple of jabs in between, and they're making it look a little bit easy here. And that's not something we're used to saying about this Jersey Bearcats defense.
Right, and you mentioned all the punches that are being thrown their way, and the Bearcats, it doesn't even look like they're putting their hands up in front of their face right now. So that aggression, that activity, that fire that we usually see in the Bearcats, we're not seeing it so far in this first quarter. And as we head into the second quarter, it's that intensity. That's what drives this team. That's what drives the Bearcats. And those big 2 losses defensively seem to be a huge reason why they're unable to do that. Those are 2 leaders, 2 players that really get you fired up. Yeah. So it's maybe not necessarily a talent issue, but who's the leader on this defense right now? When you look at it, there's a lot of great players, but that energy is provided by the players. And you see Columbus. I mean, they're dancing to the music more than the home team is, right? Yep. They have a ton of energy, this Columbus team. It doesn't feel like they're playing on the road. They have the same sort of motivation and fire, and they have a lot of leaders on both sides of the ball to provide that energy, and we're not seeing it for Jersey right now.
Riverio will get us set here in just a moment, but as you referenced, John, the Lions firing on all cylinders, and the Bearcats down a couple of big stars here in this game. As a tough hop, Joey Ward's got to get on top of it. He does, manages to scamper out of the first tackler, but is put down at about the 3-yard line, and went a little bit of bad to worse. And I was just going to mention, John, do we get the golden ball now? But at this area of the field, it gives you some pause.
Yeah, you can't take it when you're backed up. If they got good field position again, that ball took a very funny bounce as well for Ward. But if they had the field position they've had in the last 3 drives, you take the golden ball. But you can't take it on your own 4-yard line.
Yeah, it's actually spotted at the 3, so even worse than what we thought. And now the Bearcats have to dig themselves out of a hole against a Lions defense that is teaming right now and playing with a lot of confidence. And the Bearcats, back-to-back plays, the last time they had an offensive drive, a couple of bad snaps. One that was on the carpet and one that hit off the helmet of Joey Ward and ended up getting scooped up. Lions scored 1 play later. Simmons is in motion. They work it out to Nathaniel in the flat. Makes 1 person miss, makes a second before he's tapped out of bounds, about 3 yards short of the first down.
That's exactly where you expect Nathaniel to kind of work. Those 5 to 8 yard routes, those quick throws, and Rodriguez has done a great job, especially making those connections over the last 3 weeks. So it's good to see that connection. That's a play that can get an offense rolling, especially, still looking calm down 22-0.
A bit of a high snap, too, on that last play. Second down at about 4 here as they marked it at the 9-yard line. Nathaniel is in motion, swinging it out, makes the catch. 1 man to beat, and breaks out of 1 tackle, fumbled the football out of the big hit, and the Lions have recovered it. Absolutely, Lions were on top of it. Nathaniel took a shot after making the first guy miss, And now they want to separate some guys down there as well, but the Lions offense is heading back onto the field.
And this was a phenomenal tackle, phenomenal way to just get that, just push that ball out, got those arms in there, and it was Gerald Green who's been fantastic today, making a play on that football. And we got some discussion as well, but the Lions football.
Yeah, I think based on the body language, the Bearcats were looking for either a helmet-to-helmet hit or a high hit, but that did not look like the case.
No.
Looks like Green with a sensational shoulder check right to the upper body and dislodged the ball from Nathaniel, who's actually still in the game to play defensive back. And you wonder here, if you're the Lions, do you not look to go in his direction here? Nathaniel took a shot, but he was tapping his helmet just now before. He's a little bit off your screen right now.
He's moving tight.
Yeah, he's moving tight.
It feels
exactly.
like he's kind of still walking something off. So that's what you notice. I agree. You have to kind of target him. And you see Smith, who scored that last touchdown. I mean, he's going to be a guy you look for.
13:39 to go in the second quarter. Columbus Lions up by 3+ scores. Looking for more here.
We can't talk about Blaine Espinoza, who's been fantastic today. I would be surprised if they don't let him throw the football on first down, personally.
Especially having... Looking over top, and it's too far and too high in the direction of Creedle.
And Creedle had the step on this play, just a bit under and outside on this football right here. But Creedle did have the step. These receivers are making space for this quarterback to make some throws, and just missed a tad on that one.
Yeah, we'll get another look at it here, and you can see, again, little pump fake. Creedle does have about 2 steps on the safety there, Kyle Ward. 2nd and 10. A rare misfire for the Lions on first down.
2 receivers stacked up here on the near side. It's going to be an interesting play.
Just off your screen here, right underneath the speaker. And coming in that direction as well as Riverio. Pressure and the screen on the opposite side. It was wide open. And a couple of shoulders lock up. 1st and goal coming up for the Lions on a nice screen that was run. Everybody moving over to the right side of defensively, and Lee was wide open underneath.
Beautifully set up play right here. You have the receiver stacked up, and putting the receiver in motion forces the defense to shift a bit left. You get the screen play to work, and Nathaniel took a tough hit on that play as well. Yeah, the guy get a break, Sadiq Nathaniel?
Right. 1st and goal from the 8. Lee continues to stay in to the right of Espinoza. Smith will be the one in motion. Timing pattern to him, and he reels it in. Another perfect pass. Coverage not bad by Nathaniel, but the Lions are up by 28.
We talk about being scared of the glass by a lot of players, don't want to go and hit the glass and take that hit. Smith is ready to take whatever happens on these plays. He's going up and getting the football. Espinoza, again, has to drop back under center, but it's a great loft, and it's a place where only he can get. That's a beautiful throw.
Gorgeous.
And it's awesome, and Smith is able to get up and get that football.
And
what a play.
It's plays like that, John. They don't look like anything special, but they take so much timing, so much rhythm between the wide receiver coming in motion and then perfectly synced. They must practice that all day long. I mean, at least that's the way it's executed. Here we go as they bunch up on the near side. A dart thrown right at the goal line, and it is good for the 2. Corralling it in was Fortson, and it's a 30-0 game with 11:09 to go in the half.
It's just efficiency. It's efficiency from this team, and they have been phenomenal. This is a simple play. It's nothing too much to be in awe about, but just found the hole in the Bearcat defense. And what there is to be in awe about is how Espinoza is able to read that so quickly and just find that connection. But 30-0, the score. It was 2 turnovers, the Bearcats, a fumble. They had the ball, and Nathaniel just took a very big hit. It was a nice punch by Green. So 2 turnovers have led to this getting to where it's gotten at this point.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. The 2 turnovers have led directly to 2 scores. They have to get the scoreboard corrected in the arena. It still says 28-0. It is indeed 30-0 in favor of the Lions. So we have the right score on our screen. And, you know, the crowd has been taken out of the game. It really has never been in the game. The beats are pumping and all that, but really this Bearcats crowd silenced here, stunned as well.
Yeah, a playlist can only do so much to hype up your fans and your team. But
yeah, they're going to need some execution here, and we'll see if we see the golden ball here.
All depends on field position on this kick.
Scribbin kick, but it is taken on the line by Pusey. Pusey steps back, but gets met by 3 white jerseys inside of Lions territory, and the Bearcats will start a drive inside of the Lions end of the field. I saw A.J. Roquet say no to the official, meaning that there is no golden ball here. So they will not opt or not elect for it here.
I mean, I think everyone kind of still tries to figure out what the proper way, what the analytical decision is on taking the golden ball, but when you get decent field position and you're down, it seems like something that you'd want to do, but can you also not take the golden ball more than once a game? It's both halves you can take it,
both
right?
Halves, so, once each half, yeah.
So
second and fourth quarter.
Yeah, so 10.5 minutes left to go. How many times are you going to get the football at this point of the field to start a drive?
And with a chance to cut it to 16 perhaps, 14 perhaps. Either way, in motion. Meekill, again, another bad snap, and Rodriguez, all he could do is get on it. And that is a loss of 13 yards on the play.
So I guess now you're glad you didn't take the golden ball.
I guess, yeah.
But that's not the way you want to kind of have your drive start, and it's been 3 or 4 snaps that just Rodriguez is unable to handle. That's another time he's had to get on this football, and there's not much you could really say about a play like that.
No, and it's just, you know, we talk about how unconventional it is to see quarterbacks line up under center and how they should be so used to working out of the shotgun here. But, you know, we should mention the Bearcats are also without Kyle Rinsky for this game. Rinsky, a part of the offensive line. He is replaced tonight by Elijah McKenzie, who is doing the snapping. So, just tough. 2nd down and 23. Simmons is in motion, whistles blow. And what do we got? Flag down.
A lot of hands pointing Bearcat direction in terms of the penalty.
They're going to back him up 5 more yards.
Yeah.
So 2nd and 23 becomes 2nd and 28. And
so 18 yards you've moved back under your own mistakes.
Right, exactly. Unforced errors. And, you know, those are the things that will drive coaches crazy, John. And you know, we cover, you know, high school football, pro football, semi-pro football, women's football. But, you know, when you start making unforced errors with the volume that the Bearcats are making them at, it's such a recipe for disaster.
It is. And I mean, you can't move the football if you don't have the football. So it's just, we see it often-ish enough in arena football and all the footballs you mentioned, but it's something the Bearcats really want to clean up as soon as possible.
2nd and 28, 4-man drop. That's a good catch in traffic. Simmons gets back to the original line of scrimmage and then some. That's a nice chunk there as Simmons was dropping across midfield. We have a penalty that was called on the Lions. That'll be either declined or added because, again, Rittman came up without a helmet on.
We've seen that a good bit, and this is a great connection, and great things can happen when you make connections on the snap, and Rodriguez has looked solid when he's had the football in his hands and is able to have time and make throws. It's a phenomenal job by Simmons to pick up even more yards on that play. And this Bearcat offense, when they've been able to snap the football, have been fine. And Nathaniel, he had the fumble. This offense has been moving the football. It's just a lot of errors.
And it's going to result in a 1st and goal, John, because they did add the penalty yardage to the end of that play. So 1st and goal for the Bearcats. And when you have a guy like Todd Simmons in one-on-one coverage, you have to like your chances there, and that's what happened on that one. Big pressure coming up back of the end zone, and that one is up into the netting for a throwaway on Rodriguez. Good pressure that time by the Lions right from the A-gap.
And Rodriguez is a smart quarterback. He knows when to get rid of the football of the time that we've been able to see him. But it's good pressure, and it's pressure that the Lions, I think, expect to get more of in this game. I mean, even with the scoreline, they haven't got, even though they're up 30-0.
Yep, and they have consistently brought in 4 guys in against the 3 with Nas Adams throwing a chip block there, trying to help out. And it is Adams this time, going off tackle left, scampers to about the 5-yard line, pickup of about 3. It'll be 3rd and goal from 5.
I mean, this is a major drive, and you want to get points on the board, but I mean, you have to score here, obviously, and this is the drive here for the Bearcats to just get back in the motion of things, get back into comfortability with their offense, and at least just get on the scoreboard. And maybe you wish you took the golden ball now if you're able to score, but this is a moment you need to have.
So here we go, 3rd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Rodriguez with Adams ahead of him. Good snap that time. Rodriguez rolls to his right. There's a flag down in the corner of the end zone. Unable to catch up to it was Simmons. We'll have to see what the result of the flag is. It was thrown pretty early into this play. The Lions' body language makes it look like it's against them.
That's what it looked like. Rodriguez immediately pointed over towards the defense here. Sure if we got a holding penalty of some sorts in the secondary. We'll see what the official call is. But it looks like the Bearcats are going to have another opportunity to get the ball moved forward a bit more here.
Yep, it's offside against the defense, so it'll make it a 3rd down and goal here from the 2.5-yard line. You don't see a lot of comebacks when you're down by 30 points, but the Bearcats are trying to scratch their way back into this game.
I believe there was a TCU-Oregon game a good while ago, maybe, a lot longer than I probably think it is. It was a similar scoreline.
You got me there, John.
It was 43-8.
You are the college guy here.
Yeah. There's been some great comebacks. Football comebacks are always awesome and great, and usually 28-3 is the magic score that you see for comebacks.
Well, I was about to say 28-3 is the one that comes to mind. Of course, you have the Bills and Oilers back in the AFC Championship game. What was that, 1989 or 90? What was that, 35-3 they came back and won 38-35 or something like that?
Yeah. That was a great one. 28-3 is obviously the Falcons-Patriots score,
right,
and I'll shout out an Oklahoma-Baylor game with Jalen Hurts a while ago.
Let's see if the Bearcats are up to the task. It's going to be a keeper for Rodriguez. Dances out of and backpedals out of 1 tackle, but it's going to be for a 4-yard loss only. 4th down and goal coming up from just beyond the 5.
It just fell into the wall, that play. Able to use Rodriguez's legs to kind of move forward, but
yeah, it's just
blew up. The play just blew up there.
Defense just in the backfield before Rodriguez can make his first turn. Just like right on the edge there, Simmons missed his block as the wide receiver. So
you had 2 players blocking the same guy as well. There was a miscommunication with Adams on the push, and when you have 2 players blocking one guy, there's not as many guys on the field. Someone's going to get to the backfield, and that's exactly what happened.
So here we go, 4th and goal from the 7-yard line. After the 5-yard loss. They stunt up front. Good protection this time, however. Rodriguez flushed out. Corner of the end zone. Back of the end zone, however. Simmons, that pass a little behind him, could not reel it in. And the Bearcats go down on downs, but there is a flag down.
It's a flag on the play, and Green is down on the field. Not hurt, but he's just maybe in awe of what happened. Not Green, it's Yancey. But
a late hit, I think, on Rodriguez.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
They're pointing.
I think that's why Yancey was just kind of laying there. Kind of knew he was a guilty party, it seems.
Wow, what a break for the Bearcats here. They'll have it 1st and goal at the 3.5-yard line. Well, they don't come on any more of a silver platter, John. I tell you, the Bearcats have had multiple goal-to-goal opportunities in this game. They have not been able to cash.
It's officially roughing the passer penalty, but This is a golden opportunity, a golden goose, whatever gold you want to call it, but they don't do this with the golden ball, the regular ball.
Yep.
But this is an absolute gift the Bearcats just received. But again, he's still got to capitalize. It's not a guarantee you get in the end zone.
Absolutely not here. Adams is the up back, moving from right to left. Meekill in motion. Good snap. Rodriguez tucks it down, going nowhere fast. Loss of one on the play, and now a little aftermath between Rodriguez and Yancey. They've mixed it up a number of times.
So it's Yancey pulling on the leg on the tackle that Rodriguez wasn't happy about. Rodriguez threw his leg out and kicked.
Right.
So I'm not exactly sure how they're going to go about this, and the flag seemed to have came after, but Bearcats look like they're being backed up here. Rodriguez still fuming.
We're going to have an official timeout. We're going to have offsetting penalties as far as the penalty call. So we're going to step out and take a timeout here as they have the official, I guess it's going to be musical chairs going on.
Back-to-back weeks, I guess.
At midfield. So, yeah, let's step out for a quick break, Joe, and when we come back, we'll have the rest of this drive here. 3:10 remaining in the second quarter.
The PDF Sports Network is officially seeking sponsors for the 2026 Vetera Liga season. The Vetera Liga is the top professional American football league in Finland, and now, for the first time, is available in the English language and in the U.S., courtesy of PDF. Join us as we make history by showcasing the Maple League to a new worldwide audience. Our partnership with the Vetera Liga was recently featured in International Business Journal as a groundbreaking venture that in 2025 earned us a Global Recognition Award and a GHP Magazine Award for Best Local Live Broadcasting in the nation. It's time to bring our coverage to the next level and showcase your products and business to local and international audiences. Show your support now by calling us at 732-723-8189 or by emailing pdfsportsnet@gmail.com.
We are back here live from the Warananko Sports Arena in Roselle, New Jersey, where right now the visiting team, the Lions, owning the night 30-0 over the Bearcats. Unprecedented territory for the Bearcats here. They have never been down by 30 in a game since rejoining the AAL/AAL2 a few years ago. And since they've been at home here on the PDF Sports Network. And, John, I've left you speechless.
Yeah, it really
but,
has.
But really, the theme here, I think, is the Bearcats getting set up inside the 10-yard line for the Lions, unable to come out with points on multiple occasions. Then, of course, the unforced errors and the couple of turnovers. You know, you mix that all up. If you put that as the recipe and you're playing a team as good as the Lions, well, that score kind of makes sense.
It does. And Dave, I was so locked into musical chairs. That was going on here as we see in the middle of the field. But it does make sense. And the errors, we talked about the errors, and I'm sure we're going to continue to talk about them. And they may have made another one here. It seems they're backed up as well on a penalty. They're right on the doorstep. They got a gift on a roughing the passer call. And we have a winner in musical chairs.
We
there we
do.
go. Here on Youth Night, and it's been a fantastic night for all the crowd and everything. It's been a lot of good events going on, but I'm sure they would love if their Bearcats would put some points on the board and make things a bit more even here on the scoreline. But it's really very simple things and not a lot you can analyze too deeply because it's you have to snap the football properly. That shirt's coming here, but it's things you
almost got there. Almost.
But it's simple unforced errors, penalties and all that, but now I think they may have picked up this flag, Dave.
I was offsetting.
They did offset penalties. Yeah. Okay, there we go. We got it.
Second and goal.
It's the right call.
About the 3-yard line. High snap, the shovel over to Adams. Adams gains the goal line, the flag down on the play as well, holding against the Bearcats. And those 6 points are coming right back.
Just when you think the Bearcats had a moment, comes off the board. And got to be a deflating moment, especially when you're down 30-0. You're looking for that spark. and you have it. And that flag came out immediately as well.
Yes, it sure did. And I think it was right at the sideline area where it was picked up, and it'll be a 2nd and goal now from the 13-yard line instead of from the 3 as they back up to 10 yards. But that's not exactly an unforced error, but it is another error. Another error indeed for the Bearcats, who have been up against it, as we did lose our color commentator, John McCooch, but David Pizzuto with you here, and as we get some of our audio back at the very least here in this one. But here we go, a 2nd and goal, and what would have been a touchdown turns into a 2nd and goal from about the 13-yard line. Mateo Rodriguez, in a game in which the Bearcats have committed a lot of penalties, now have to go +10 to get into the end zone. In motion, Rodriguez looks right side, finding Simmons, and Simmons is in for the touchdown. And the Bearcats get it back. It takes them a couple of extra plays to do it and a couple of penalties to help out along the way. But the Bearcats are finally on the board. It's 30-6. In a drive that the Bearcats definitely needed. There was no question about it. They found Simmons going from left to right. You'll see it on your screen here. I don't believe, he was the wide receiver in motion. That's a perfect pass, too, by Mateo Rodriguez. Safety help over top, corner down low. Who was victimized in the lower half was the linebacker Kenyatta Richardson. And so the Bearcats will go for 2 here to try to come to within 22. Simmons is the player in motion. Rodriguez has really good time. Looking left side, that one is tipped up in the air, incomplete. And so the 2-point conversion fails. And the Bearcats will have to settle for just the 6. It is 30-6 now, as the Bearcats have finally gotten on the board after falling behind by 30. And that puts the pressure squarely on the defensive unit here for the Bearcats, as the offense has finally done its job. And again, it was furthered along by a couple of big penalties that were called against the Lions in that goal-to-go situation. And we'll see how the Bearcats defense responds. 3:11 remaining in this first half, and really important for the Bearcats to keep the Lions right here and stuck at 30 points, and we'll see if they can do that. Once again, we apologize for the multiple technical difficulties in this game. Our Wi-Fi signal at the Warananko Sports Arena very much on the fritz, as it was field side with the arena Wi-Fi system that was in control of the instant replay apparatus down there. And because of our audio struggles now, we've lost our color commentator, John McCooch, for a little while. As we look to get him back and his audio back, I'll take you through the next few plays. 30-6, the Bearcats finally on the board. Here's the kickoff from Hernandez Paez. It is bounced up and taken at about the 3-yard line, and taken down hard by Nathaniel was Jacob Smith, who's had a very eventful first half here. And very quietly, the Columbus Lions probably have their worst field position of the game to start a drive. Up by 24 here, very comfortable. And they have been 4 for 4 on their offensive drive so far. They'll start this one at the 14-yard line. Lane Espinoza has been busy, and you don't know if, aside from the keeper where he scored a touchdown, if there has been another run in this game. I think there was. I think Marco Lee ran the ball on a shovel lateral earlier in the first quarter, but this is a Lions team that almost exclusively is working in the air and have had a lot of success, a lot of one-play touchdowns or big chunk plays. We saw the running back screen as well in this game, utilized extremely well. Espinoza under center. The Bearcats only bring in 3, and that one was either blocked at the line of scrimmage or thrown at the heels of Marco Lee. We're going to get another look at that, see if it was touched up at the line. Take a look. Either way, an incomplete pass and a very rare no gain on a play. I don't think so, unless it was Tariq Noble who got his fingertips on it. Either way, 2nd down and 10 coming up. Lions looking to improve to 4-0 on the season. This is their first road game of the year. The Bearcats trying to avoid a 2-game losing streak. They won their first 2 games of the season, are since 2-1. In motion was Smith. They'll go the opposite way near the flank and unable to be wrestled down that time and getting out of some danger. I believe that was Jamar Fortson, and they're going to move the sticks here for a first down. Take another look at that, and you have wide receiver in motion on one side, and Columbus just deciding, let's throw it out in the flat, let the wide receiver do the rest. And against Manny Stewart, a nice job there by Fortson to get out of danger, and we have another first down as the Lions, just like that, are in the Bearcats side of the football field. Ball spotted at the Bearcats 21-yard line. Smith now in the high arc, down low in the slot. That one is put up and in the corner, wide open. And walking in for the touchdown, Jasias Cradle. And the Lions clap right back with 6 of their own, have now made it 36-6. There are no flags. Heard a couple of whistles. At first I thought maybe, but not to be. And the Lions have answered the Bearcats 6 points with 6 of their own. It took them only 3 plays, and you could see the time on your screen, just 52 seconds remaining here in the first half, and that's some way to start play inside of a minute to go. And as expected, the Lions will go for 2 here. Under center. The timing throw in the corner, that will be good for 2. As the arms come up, Fortson got the 2, and it's 38-6 in favor of the Lions. The points have not been put up on the scoreboard officially here in the arena, but we have it right on your screen. 38-6 is our score. I'm going to welcome back John McCooch in just a bit. So we'll try to get the audio hooked back up for you here. But once again, the Lions and the Bearcats trade touchdowns just 3 plays apart. And it's Lions back up by 32. It's 38-6. Actually, it's their biggest lead. They had a 30-point lead and have matched the Bearcats 6 with 8 of their own. 52.1 left. Holding for John McCooch, who will join us in just a moment and might even take over a little of the play-by-play. While I get our audio sorted, John McCooch will join us momentarily and take over a little bit of the play-by-play.
Again, we looking to get back on the air here. So it was a touchdown. We're waiting on the scoreboard for now. So the first play was a touchdown from Espinoza to Cradle, and they just got the 2-point conversion. So 38-6 is your score. We can have the scoreboard issue, but it's fixed now. So the scoreboard's accurate, 38-6, 52.1 seconds left to go here in quarter number 2. The Lions will kick off, and the Lions bounce this football over towards in the collision between 2 players, and here tackle, escaping a tackle now for Pusey, but he will be brought down at the 18-yard line, and there'll be no forward progress there because he was able to break the tackle and keep moving. So he's down around the 18-yard line, and all the players from both sides just jammed up. So no scuffle again. It'll be first down after Columbus was able to get in the end zone again. Again, 38-6. This is a team that's put up 60-plus points before. They put up 79 against the River Gators in week 1. Be back with Bearcats offense. Again, we apologize for technical difficulties that we've had. It is an issue we have in terms of the venue and our hotspot and everything. So we apologize. We thank you for sticking around with us and tuning into the PDF Sports Network. But 44.6 seconds left to go in quarter number 2. And the Bearcats offense will look to get things rolling and just stay stabilized. And Rodriguez and this offense, it has been tough to get this ball moving. They have made a drive work, and it was a huge play from Todd Simmons, who has done a lot of great things, and he will be all the way in the back here, so you'd imagine he's the man in motion as things get back to work here with Rodriguez. In the shotgun, snaps have been an issue. They will take the golden football as well. Looking Simmons' direction, now all the way towards the outside. Wide open man, he's got him. It's Mikil. Mikil fighting through, whistle blown, and they'll have him down. So they've got to move quickly. Clock is stopped. We had the 1 minute warning already, so a big connection to Mikil as the Bearcats got that moon ball to work. Philip Mikil able to get the Bearcats right there. And again, they have the golden football, so touchdowns, everything worth double. It would actually be massive for the Bearcats to get this ball into the end zone here and cut this lead. Rodriguez in the shotgun here. He's got Adams the top behind the line. Simmons back as the back man. He will be in motion yet again with Rodriguez, and we get a whistle blown, and David Pizzuto is back on the headset.
Yeah, we were trying to switch hotspots, John. We were trying everything to try and latch onto some Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi signal here is so weak that we're just struggling. So everything that we've tried has failed.
Yeah.
We might be on okay with audio at this point. We're not quite sure, but it's unfortunate. How are we doing?
He just had a big connection to Philip Mikil that had the Bearcats with the golden ball around the 2-yard line. So really a gift the Bearcats were able to get. Mikil got all the way back into the secondary. He was a wide open man, almost scored, got blown down just short of the goal line. He wasn't able to fight through a tackle. So Bearcats offense is back and ready to roll, Dave, and they have the golden football and can cut this lead a bit. Still a long hill to climb, but this could be a big play here. They're able to kind of figure out a way to get it, and we're hearing that it may be clear now.
What it is, John, is it's just bouncing up and down.
Yeah,
you know, it's just really what it's all about. It's dropping us, and then it's bringing us back. It's dropping us, bringing us back, and we apologize, folks. This is not the way PDF Sports Networks likes to run, but unfortunately, when we're at the subject of Wi-Fi, especially in an indoor facility like this with all these wooden beams around us, it's just almost impossible. And underneath, intercepted and picked off at the goal line and going the other way. A fumble. As that ball was down, it got picked up, but they were down, and the interception by Kenyatta Richardson thwarts another goal-to-goal drive for the Bearcats, and the Lions have held and will have 22 and a half seconds from about midfield here to put an exclamation point on this one.
Wow. I mean, they had it ready to roll, and I wasn't going to sit here and say the Bearcats were going to come back if they scored, obviously. But that is the most deflating possibility that you possibly could have had in that moment. And just want to remind you, if he did score that defensive player on the golden football, it still would have been a regular touchdown.
Right.
Would not have been double. But they were right there with the golden ball on the doorstep, and just frustrating if you're the Bearcats. I mean, that's a great way for Columbus to stay stout and stay ready and be in position to get that football, but that's one you want to have.
Absolutely. Very hard to pick yourself off the mat when you have 3 turnovers and a half, multiple penalties that have moved you back in go-to-go situations, and just a tough day so far for the Bearcats, and this game isn't even half over yet. And the Lions with a chance here to hit the 40-point mark at halftime, because 22 and a half seconds with under a minute to go with stoppages on the clock is a world of time. Wide open near the goal line. Touchdown by Smith. They make it look so easy. That clock should be stopped. It does with 13 seconds. 44-6. The Lions are up ahead.
This might be the most beautiful throw I've ever seen on the PDF Sports Network, Dave, from Blaine Espinoza. And Smith makes the connection, gets a touchdown, but just not enough to get in there on Smith. Smith has strong hands, very strong hands, and it's a great connection. But that was just beautiful work from this offense, and I know I've said it ad nauseum, but they just continue to do it. 40-plus points in the first half for Columbus.
Yeah, so they've yet to put the score on the clock, or on the scoreboard, I should say, but Indeed, it is 44-6.
They're looking to make it 46-6 as well. We'll make it a 40-point game at halftime.
Well, we said 22 and a half seconds was a world of time. It only needed 6. In motion is Riverio. They look opposite side. That one is skied into the netting. No play to be made there, and the score will remain 44-6 with 16.2 seconds left in this one.
They were looking for the big fellow right there, trying to get a big man touchdown with Justin Umez, but opted to throw that football high and not try to force a connection there. But this Bearcats defense has had their struggles. I mean, they gave up 40 to Wheeling in their last game as well, and Columbus talking a lot here with the lead, and I'm sure you expected that.
You got some Columbus players waving white flags or white towels in the direction of the Bearcats as well. We still have 30 minutes and 16 seconds of football left here from Roselle in a game that has gotten completely out of hand. 44-6. It's gotten so bad that they haven't even put the score up, and now they did.
There we go. Happened last touchdown too.
Yeah.
I almost thought they blew it. The play completely, like it got short because I didn't see the score up there. And it was interesting. It's been interesting today, Dave. It's been a very, and Yancey is really chatting with.
He's engaging. That's for sure. Yeah.
So I'm sure this will be a very peaceful walk to the locker room for both teams.
Well, it's a good thing they both have to walk in opposite directions to the locker room.
Right. Wouldn't be surprised. You lean a bit more towards the middle, maybe. Try to, I'm sure someone's going to say something. We'll see. We'll see how this kind of ends out here. I'm sure the officials are going to sprint towards the middle of the field.
Riverio to kick it off. He's been busy. Good end-over-end kick. Caught on a line at the 6-yard line by Joey Ward. Ward makes a man miss, spinning and twisting out of one tackle, and ends up in the Lions side of the field with 9.2 seconds remaining in the first half. Perhaps time for a play or two. The Bearcats, by our count, still have all 3 of their timeouts left. But they'll have 2 chances here to hang one up and try to get some points on the board.
So, and the Bearcats, they have used the golden football this half already, so they will not be able to use it, obviously, with 44-6 being the score and also 9 seconds remaining. So,
a reminder that at halftime, we will have multiple guests on with us. Corey Miller, former assistant coach for the Jersey Bearcats, will join us at halftime. We're going to be joined by a couple of Lady Bearcats as well. We'll hear from Cameron Williams and might hear from head coach A.J. Roque, who might have a lot to say, might not have a lot to say. We'll see. 4.4 seconds left. That clock should be stopped. It has not. I think they will let one more play here.
Yeah. 5 seconds. They're going to go for 5 seconds, who they say. The completion, the clock stops. So
yes.
If under 1 minute.
Under 1 minute.
Yes.
Normal stoppages.
That'll happen. For 5 seconds, and it'll probably be the last play of the first half here.
All right, so perhaps this the final play. 5 seconds remaining here in the first half. The Bearcats are down by 38. Trying to soften up that Lions lead by halftime. Couple of last second instructions by Coach Roque. Rodriguez sends Simmons in motion. Lions in the middle of the field. Meekhill makes the play, but he's down as time expires. So a positive play for the Bearcats, but they'll go into the locker room down by 38. The Lions with a 44-6 lead here at halftime. We're going to keep it here, and we'll wait until somebody grabs a headset, and we'll do a couple of interviews here.
A tough first half. Down by almost 40 at this point, but Bearcats' resilience is going to be interesting to see what they're able to do, and they've had some good offensive plays in this game. They've been able to move the football, so I don't think it's the end of the scoring for the Jersey Bearcats, because when they've been able to get successful snaps, they've been able to get the offense in a clean play and get Rodriguez in a clean pocket, they've been able to make a good amount happen. It's just a matter of consistency, and consistency is big when it comes to this team. Like you mentioned, we'll be joined by some guests, so we'll see what they have to say.
Yep. We do have Corey Miller taking the headset. Coach K back. Let me make sure your audio is good. Coach Corey, how are we doing?
I'm all right. How you doing, Dave? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Good to see you. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing. Are you still coaching with the team? Are you a former coach? What are we doing?
Unfortunately, I took the year off, made a decision. I had to deal with some mental health stuff, some physical health stuff, and I was dealing with like a few job things going on, and just couldn't make the time to make the travel up here every week. So it's a very hard decision. One of the hardest I ever made, because I eat, sleep, and breathe Bearcat football and special teams. Yeah. And unfortunately, I just couldn't make it happen this year.
Well, you look great, so congratulations on that. It's great to see you here. But, Coach K, I know we'd want to see a different thing on the scoreboard right now. The team
most certainly.
is, 44-6. What are some of your observations here throughout this first half?
It just comes down to execution, man. Penalties are drive killers. There's been so many opportunities for them to score, and they just got a dumb penalty. Or they mishandled the ball. You got to take control of the ball. You got to take control of your emotions. You can't have dumb penalties.
Yeah.
They're just drive killers, and that's killing all of their momentum right now.
Yeah, what John and I were saying up here was a lot of unforced errors, too. Some bad snaps. Snap that goes off the helmet of the running back leads to a fumble, a couple of bad throws. You would think if the game was a little cleaner, the Bearcats, have done a few good things.
Yeah, a few good things. There's been so many great things they have done so far, but then they turn around, pull the pistol out of the holster, and shoot themselves in the foot the next play. And it's so frustrating to watch as a coach.
I mean, it seems when Rodriguez has a clean pocket and gets a good snap, great things happen, but that center quarterback connection hasn't been what it needs to be. How does that get figured out in this game?
That gets figured out. You just got to communicate. If it snaps a little bit too high, Mateo's got to do something very simple. He's got to take one step back and not tell the center. That's what I always tell my guys whenever I was coaching the O-line before Pinto took over. If the snaps are getting high, take a step back, don't tell the center.
And Coach K, how, as a former special teams coach, how difficult was it for you to see that field goal attempt to start the game? Could have given the Bearcats a 3-0 lead early. They elect to get the ball first. You want to get points on that drive. So critical to see that play go down. That's a really big play early in the game.
That is, because points are how you win the game. I don't know if you guys know this, but in football, the team with the most points at the end of the game typically wins. That's how it works, and it's been like that since like 1898 when they started playing it at Harvard.
That's an undefeated viewpoint right there.
Yeah, I heard that from John Madden himself in Madden 2006.
Nice. Coach, we're going to catch up to you after the game, but tell me, in a game like this where a team is down by 38 points, what do you want to see in the second half?
I want to see these guys want it. That's what it comes down to. If you guys, it doesn't matter what the points are, you cannot let either success or failure drive you. You just got to come out and keep clicking. It's just that simple. It's just one of those things that, how are you going to respond? You got punched in the mouth. This is first 2 rounds you got punched in the mouth. Round 3 and 4, what are you going to do? You guys going to just throw in the towel and go home, or are you guys going to start swinging? Because at this point, they have nothing to lose, and if they can get some stuff moving, get a stop on defense, get some turnovers, they can make a run at this. I've seen crazier things happen in arena football.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, pleasure to catch up to you. We're going to see you after the game as well. Break down this final. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, we are going to take a brief 1-minute break. When we come back, we will have some of the Lady Bearcats come on with us. So hold for 1 second, a 1-minute break.
The PDF Sports Network is officially seeking sponsors for the 2026 Vetera Liga season. The Vetera Liga is the top professional American football league in Finland, and now, for the first time, is available in the English language and in the U.S., courtesy of PDF. Join us as we make history by showcasing the Maple League to a new worldwide audience. Our partnership with the Vetera Liga was recently featured in International Business Journal as a groundbreaking venture. that in 2025 earned us a Global Recognition Award and a GHP Magazine Award for Best Local Live Broadcasting in the nation. It's time to bring our coverage to the next level and showcase your products and business to local and international audiences. Show your support now by calling us at 732-723-8189 or by emailing pdfsportsnet@gmail.com.
All right, we are back here live on the PDF Sports Network. We got Gianna and Marlena mid-dance with us here. But Gianna, you've got the headset first, so we're going to ask you first question. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. What brought you to the Bearcats? Where are you from? All that good stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm originally from Hamilton, New Jersey. I think that's more down, under, yeah. I've grown up doing dance since I was 2. I've done cheerleading. I've done any type of dance, you name it, I've probably done it. And I've always wanted to be a pro dancer, and that road led me to here in Angela, so I'm very excited to be here.
Awesome. Pleasure to meet you. Let's let Marlena introduce herself as well. All right, Marlena, you guys want to go back and forth, so I got to ask you the same question. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about, where you're from, how long have you been dancing, how did you get to the Bearcats?
Okay, yeah, of course. So I'm originally from Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey, which is very much south of here, very south. I've been dancing since I was 3. I've done competition dance. I danced and cheered in college. So I'm really grateful to be here and continuing to dance and doing what I love with my sisters. So yeah, it's been really awesome so far.
Yeah, and stay on the headset, and then I'll ask Gianna the same question.
Okay.
But tell me a little bit about the different nuances with dance, cheerleading, dance and doing cheer for like a professional organization like the Bearcats, and like where you'd like to see yourself in the development here for maybe next level.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So this is a really good launch pad for that like pro experience if you want to go NBA, NFL, NHL. But on our team, we kind of do both. Like we mostly are dancers, but we had a lot of fan engagement. Yeah, sure. So in a way, we're also cheerleaders. But it's really awesome to blend the two together because, like I said, I in college did the two, so it's been really nice to be able to experience that and continue growing.
Awesome.
And I'll give it to Gianna.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll So Gianna, we'll ask you the same question. I should have brought 2 headsets.
That's okay.
But I asked you the same question. The different nuances in dance. Especially here with the Bearcats. What are some of the unique things that you guys are doing specifically that you're enjoying, and how would you like to see that kind of intersect with what you're doing for a career or getting to that next level?
Yeah, absolutely. Like what I heard from Marlena, this is a really nice launch pad. And Angela, our director and coach, she actually brings people from the NFL, the NBA, and actually comes and teaches us different dances. So that definitely helps us, like she said, grow. And if we ever want to go into that level, NFL, NBA, this is definitely the place to be and to start from. Because like I said, she brings those people in for us, and we have workshops and things like that. So it's so nice to have those people teach us to know the foundations of the NBA and the NFL where we eventually want to go one day.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure meeting you. I have one last question for you and then for Marlena. And that is, what I've learned from the Bearcats organization is that so much more than just football, so much more than just dance. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing away from like the training and the coordinating of the dances and what you guys are doing in the community, because it's just as important.
Yeah, so I know some of us, we do take some classes outside of dance, outside of here, that also helps us with our dancing here. But as well as the community, I know sometimes we go to hospitals and do toy drops and things like that. I know we sometimes will host a dance clinic for the girls that want to come and dance with us, so that's also super fun to do.
Awesome. It's a pleasure to meet you, Gianna. Thank you so much. You got it. All right, Marlena, I'll ask you the same kind of question about, it being more than just football, it being more than just dance, and getting out there in the community and engaging with the community, bringing in other people. Tell me a little bit about that camaraderie of the team and in all facets, not just dance.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. We actually do a lot of work in the community. So I think Gianna touched a little bit on like the kids clinics that we do. That's something that was really awesome that we did when we were doing our hockey season, and we plan to do that again for arena football. I would say also we do a lot of community service. So we've gone to like hospitals and hung out with the kids and danced with them, sang with them, got them engaged. I know that some of my other teammates have went to the food banks and been a part of that experience as well. So it's definitely a very like community-driven program, and we wouldn't be who we are without the community. So it's been really awesome as well to like see that aspect. And I work at a school, so I love like being around kids as well. So it's been really cool to connect the two.
Awesome,
So,
awesome. Well, please extend to Gianna how great it is to meet you guys.
Yes.
We love watching you perform. You guys put in a lot of work. You can tell it takes a long time to do what you do. Pleasure meeting you both. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, you as well.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. All right, John, dynamic, multi-talented, the Bearcats on the field, and all the people behind the scenes. Angela is Angela Roque, who is AJ Roque's wife, partner in crime, and so much done behind the scenes, and the Lady Bearcats are a part of that.
And it's always great to see like a sense of community, a sense of family. I mean, literal family like you just mentioned, but especially in the world of dance and everything, there's a big community with it, and there's a big family, and everyone is able to kind of grow and develop together with all this great stuff. And it's also great to see, you mentioned the kids' clinics, you mentioned the drives, and it just makes this area and the areas they're from too, it makes everything better. So it's always great to see things like that. And some great questions from you, Dave, too.
All right, I tried. Jordan Ray is our halftime performer here, and she just dazzled us. I think Jordan is from Staten Island as well. And, a little bit of Staten Island contingent. You know who I saw here? And I think our friends who work at the College of Staten Island will enjoy this. I could have sworn I saw Staten Island CSI hoop star turned South Alabama hoop star Aaron Goldstein Jr., I think, is in the house. I saw him pass by. But these guys know him, a 1,000-point scorer for the CSI Dolphins of the College of Staten Island. And he's transferring, unfortunately, went through the portal. And but we appreciate what he's doing. But saw him in the house, so star-studded here. Waiting for Cameron Williams to join us, and if he wants to join us, he'll be there. I think they're doing a photo op here, but Cam is just chilling. He's not
hanging out.
He's not ready.
No,
not ready for prime time.
I think he was locked in on the performance. Maybe that's what he was doing.
Yeah. Well, we should mention while we wait for Cam is that tonight is Youth Night, John, and we do have the Roselle Rams flag football team and their football team joining us, select members, of course, and they have done a great job in Roselle with flag football and the football team here, and it's a chance to honor them. Of course, we saw Jordan perform here at halftime. We had Aaliyah Mansfield sing our national anthem, and the theme of the night is Youth Night, and that's what this is all about too, John. We talk so much about the football part, but it's about the community engagement, about getting people here, and about honoring the local people and the local champions who make football important, who make community service important. 3 weeks ago, we had Autism Awareness. During the month of April, it was a spectacular day. So many performances, but this is such a big part of what the AAL is all about.
It is, absolutely. And again, seeing things like this and seeing this sense of community as well, it's huge. And especially a shout out to girls flag football being an official varsity sport now. That's awesome. A big moment in high school sports. And we've seen a lot of community support around that as well. You're seeing this right here. So this is great. And it's things that kind of, the score line of the games don't matter as much, as especially when you talk about week one with Autism Awareness Night. I mean, the score of the games don't matter some of the time. And when these moments are able to happen, this is what truly matters and what people remember from a lot of these games. So, I mean, it's always great to see things like this happen with Jersey Bearcats football, and it's not going to stop. This is what they do. This is what arena football does, semi-pro football does, and it's more than just a football league a lot of the time, and we're seeing a lot of that here.
Yep, and also some of the Jersey Bearcats whose moms are in the house and attending the game are going to receive flowers because tomorrow, of course, is Mother's Day, so we want to send a shout-out to all the moms out there, and the moms, the stepmoms, the grandmoms, and all in between. Of course, I'm sure you have yours, John, that you'll send greetings to. I got, my wife Jennifer at home. My sister Antoinette is a mom as well, and of course my mom Giovanna. Want to wish all of them a happy Mother's Day today.
Yeah. My mother, my cousin celebrating her first Mother's Day right this year. So everyone out there, always make sure you call your mother, okay?
Yes,
you have to.
I'm going to see my mom tomorrow morning.
There you go.
Yep,
ready to roll.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's always great. Mother's Day is always a great day, and see, always thoughtful. It's a Mother's weekend. Let's be honest. Let's be real. It's a Mother's weekend, and you're seeing this today on this Saturday. This great Saturday. Everyone's getting some flowers, getting their rights, getting their dues, and it's great. Lady Bearcat moms and Bearcat moms going out and getting some flowers here. It's always great.
Yeah.
Like you said, happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. If there's any mothers watching, happy Mother's Day to you and
maybe
and everything and
might
all the
be out there.
Maybe you never know. So and all the unsung and unpraised work that you all do for your families. It's
all right, we do have Cam who's taking the headset. So Cameron Williams joins us on headset. Cam, we heard from a lot of people this halftime. We haven't heard from you yet. Tell me a little bit about your perspectives here through 2 quarters.
Yeah, it's been a very busy locker room half for the Bearcats, obviously being down 44-6. What is the locker room like, really? I spent my time in there this halftime, and the message was clear from Coach AJ from the start. If you want to argue, stay in the locker room. He's expressed himself that he is tired of arguing. He says he's never seen this before in Bearcats history where the team is arguing within themselves, and he puts it because Columbus is scoring. And obviously the Bearcats have not been challenged this hard so far this season. This is the most they've given up, 44 points. That is way more than last week already, and we're only through 1 half. So what the Bearcats need to do is play sound defensive defense, really, and offense needs to come together. We saw an interception right at the goal line from Mateo. The play calling, there's a lot of arguing, but what needs to happen, in my perspective, is Nas Adams should get the ball a little bit more. We're used to seeing Nas Adams run right through the gut and make up his own routes. And we haven't been able to see that much, but we have seen some nice flashes from Todd Simmons, who caught his touchdown. And we've seen him down the field a lot so far. It just needs to connect fully with Mateo. Other than that, the Bearcats are not out of this game yet. We've seen it before. Coach AJ mentioned that in the locker room. He's come back from behind from worse. So they still have hope, and they're still holding out in hopes that they get a win here tonight versus Columbus. Back to you guys.
All right, Cam, really appreciate your perspective, and we'll catch up with you during the 3rd quarter. And so the only person left that has to grab the mic is A.J. Roque. We'll see if he will. And when you have a half where you're down by 38, sometimes you might not want to do that, but
yeah,
we'll see if he comes.
And there's no league mandate like the NFL on things like that, so he can do whatever he wants.
We can't fine AJ.
No,
he can fine us for being off the air a couple times.
Right.
But
don't suggest that, Dave.
No. AJ wouldn't do that to us.
I hope not. Sure he wouldn't. But another performance for the Lady Bearcats here as well.
We'll throw it down to the field level, get the performance from the Lady Bearcats. The Lady Bearcats doing what they do, dazzling us here at halftime. Pleasure to catch up with a couple of them during that halftime. Of course, we heard from Coach K as well, and we'll see what happens in this second half. I think the overall theme of the halftime perspectives, John, is that the Bearcats have been less than impressive through one half. As good as the Lions have played, the Bearcats have shot themselves in the foot. We heard some of AJ's sentiments in the locker room courtesy of Cam Williams. He's not happy with the way the Bearcats are treating one another and arguing with one another, arguing with the officials, and getting caught up in the things that are just not about football.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about, a sense of community. This community needs to happen too. The football team itself, right? You have to make sure you're communicating properly. I mean, a lot of the time, arguing is something. It's a tough line sometimes with football arguments, right? Because you want good points to be brought up. You want your teammates, if you're pointing out something's going on, something's doing wrong, you want that to be pointed out. You want to fix things. But when it's senseless arguments and arguments that don't make the team better and don't come from a good place of wanting to be better, that's when it becomes a problem, especially when you're down 44-6. It seems that the arguing isn't working when you see leaders step up. And I think that's the big thing. When the leaders aren't on the field, this can happen. Where, especially, and again, Columbus is scoring, and you haven't seen the team get the football out as quickly as Columbus. It gets frustrating. The frustrating things can build up, and that's what we're seeing here right now. So, I mean, it's a good job by Coach Roque to kind of try to get this team back and settled in and just calm the team down. This team needs to start out strong, get some energy, and they take the ball, obviously, so they'll kick the ball in the second half. But this is just something where, again, Coach K made a good point, right, obviously, and it's just you can't play – the exact quote is escaping me, but you can't let success or failure drive you. I believe that's something about what he said. So that's exactly the mindset you need to have, right, because we always say play like it's 0-0 and all of that, but that really does matter right now, not just for trying to win this game, but also trying to get out here with your head held high. That's the big thing right here.
Yeah,
as a Columbus team that's won 79-0, Dave, you don't want to be on the other side of that.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the Bearcats will have to kick off to start this second half as well. So the Lions will get the ball first, perhaps potentially with a chance to build on their lead, and it's an enormous one right now.
Yeah, and this game is not over, Dave. I want to make sure that we establish that. This is arena football. A lot can happen. The Bearcats, you get a defensive stop and turn the ball over, cause a turnover, get to the fourth quarter, take the golden ball down 14, and go tie this game up, you still got a chance.
Yeah, and we've seen it. I mean, I think the first ever game that we called here, we had a team down by 20 in the fourth quarter, and they won the game. 6 minutes left in the game. This is Smith going from left to right. Could take it all the way to the house, and Smith standing up. And another 6 for the Lions. They drop one. There is a flag down at the 20-yard line of the Lions. This one might be coming back.
It is.
Undoubtedly. But how's that for a start for the Lions?
Well, if you wondered why he was able to get such a good lane down the sideline, then that'll do it. But that is, it looked like the Lions, I mean, we just talked about the game not being over. I mean, an immediate kick return would have been quite a blow to that. But
we could spot the hold. It might be tough here. We might just catch it. Oh, maybe there, maybe right there.
That's it.
Number 6, the guilty party. But
6, yeah.
All right, so what would have been 6 points ends up with a 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line for the Lions, and the Bearcats defense for the first time in this half will be out there on defense, and we'll see if any of the halftime talk resonates, at least on the defensive side. I don't believe, John, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Lions have been stopped on a drive tonight. Right?
Not that I can remember.
They have not. They've scored on every drive.
I think they have 1 incomplete pass, or 2. It's about 2.
Yeah, and 2 failed conversions. That's it. Quick screen one way, and a nice one-handed stab on the right side, and there goes Riviero into the boards, but a huge play of about 25 yards to start this second half. Again, they use the misdirection one side, go over to the opposite side, and Riviero turns it into a big game.
It does, and a nice one-handed snag like you mentioned. We're going to see it here. This is a play that looked like it was about to be kind of broken and almost an incomplete pass, but a great catch and a great way. You can get a bit high after the catch because you think, I made a one-handed catch, this is great. But he took it and got into his stride and picked up a big first down for this Lions offense.
Officially a 23-yard gain. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Bearcats 17-yard line. Lions on the first offensive drive of the second half. They lead 44-6. Espinoza waves Riviero in motion. Looking in his direction towards the 5. Turns the corner. Touchdown. Breaking away from Kyle Ward, and it's 50-6.
Only took 2 plays for this offense, and they've had a drive with 1 play, now 2 plays, 2 drives with 1 play. this Lions offense continues to work. And we talked about the Bearcats halftime adjustments. Whatever the Lions did at halftime also has come out strong.
Right. They're not going to sit on their hands. Not this team.
No, they know it's early in the third quarter. You can be up by as many points as you want. You still have to come out and play your game. You can't just settle in.
Yeah. Lions, if obviously barring an epic collapse, will move to 4-0 after a win tonight, and they've already scored 237 points in 4 games. And there's still almost the entire half to go here. We thought 79 was a lot.
Yeah, there's an entire half of the season left to go. We'll see how many points this team can put up by the end of it. I mean, I don't know what the single season AAL record is for points in a season, but Columbus is off to a good start.
So 2-point conversion in effect as it has been for the entire game. It's a pitch and a throw from there back of the end zone, and that had a lot of mustard on it, and it was incomplete. The quarterback on the play was Creedle. I think he was looking for Marco Lee in the end zone.
Yep.
Or it was Fortson. It was one of those two. But either way, 2-point conversion fails. It's 50-6, and the referees are trying to get the clock to stop. And
oh, man.
Now they
stopped.
do. 12:31. It's
50 ball for Columbus.
Right.
I mean, we see 50 points a good amount in arena football. I don't know about with 12:31 left in the third quarter.
Yeah. These two teams, I believe, will meet again this season.
In Columbus.
In Columbus, correct. So the Bearcats will be able to keep this in their memory banks until that day. And for the Lions, man, will they go into that game with a lot of confidence.
If the Lions come in with the same attitude they came into this game with, good things will happen for them.
Yep. That one hits off the corner of the pads, taken by Ward. Ward, with a head of steam, is bounced into the boards just shy of the 15-yard line. I'll tell you what, in a game in which the Bearcats are down by 44 points, they have had great starting field position in this game.
Yeah, I was
just about the entire game.
Yeah, this is probably the 4th or 5th time they've been around this part of the field, about 20-yard line. So they've done there's a lot of good in this game. I know that's hard to say when you're down by 44, but there's a lot of good things this team has done. It's errors.
And I could be wrong about this, John, but I actually think that the touchdown drive that the Bearcats had was the drive that they started all the way at their 3-yard line.
It was after Rodriguez.
And there was a penalty on that drive as well that helped out. But
that was after 3rd and 18.
Yeah, how ironic is it that their one touchdown drive was 47 yards, and they might be under that for the rest of the game. Rodriguez, middle for Meekill. He makes the catch. Does he have control? Yes, he does. Philip Meekill with the touchdown grab, and the Bearcats slap right back, and they score their 6 here in the third. It's 50-12.
Looks like the Bearcats will obviously go for 2 as well. But really nice connection. So we talk about quick drives, one-play drive for the Bearcats here. They made a nice connection. Meekill, good to see him get going. He made the catch at the end of the first half, and nice just sliding catch for Meekill to get into the end zone to get this Bearcat offense is back to speed. This Bearcats offense will definitely need to get hot if they want to keep things going, but a big 2-point conversion right here.
Important too, believe it or not. Could factor in a little bit later. Shoveled over to Adams. Adams gets punched at the 5, and he goes nowhere but backwards. 2-point conversion fails, and with 11:30 remaining in the third quarter, our score is 50-12 in favor of the Lions.
Now a 38-point game, and this is a great way to stuff this run. Just broke off of that edge there. This defensive line, the energy's still there. Even doesn't matter how much they're up. This defense wants to keep this offense out of the end zone constantly for the entirety of all 4 quarters.
Yeah, that was DeAndre Brown with the big hit and a good shedding of the block. And both teams are 6 apiece here in the second half, but the Lions have retained 38-point lead.
Yeah, Columbus, this offense will get the ball right back, so see if they're able to continue to work. But this has been a great job by Columbus here. But the Bearcats, they're right back in it. They're right back in this game, even though they didn't get the conversion. And Be interesting to see what they do. This defense, though, have to step up. This energy defense needs to get the energy.
They did what they did in the first half here in the second. So. And we will see Hernandez-Paez send this one off the other way. Remember, onside kicks are also in play in the AAL. The ball must travel a minimum of 10 yards. And then it's a live ball. This will be a line drive kick. It skips at about the 25 and ends up at the 15 into the hands of Riverio, and he is tackled from behind by Ward inside the Bearcats' 20-yard line.
We're talking about field position. The Columbus Lions get some solid stuff, but Bearcats, this has been quite a game. And again, arena football is very strange. So you can definitely see some things happen, but it starts on the defensive side of the football now. Yes, offensively you have to make things happen, but the Bearcats can score on every possession they get from here on out. If Columbus puts up 70, they won't win the game.
Right,
so
exactly. They're going to need some stops at some point, a turnover, a pick six, something on the defensive side of the ball to get this Bearcats team sprung. This is a team that gave up 40 points last week to the Wheeling Miners. They've given up 50 here through 35 minutes out of 60 in this one. Espinoza, and we have flags down as maybe getting off to a head start were the Bearcats on the defensive line. And they're going to get 5 free yards with the Lions. Next week, the Bearcats will take on the Tri-State Panthers, a Jersey-based team. And the Panthers are an AAL2 team, John, and the Panthers lost to the Eagles on opening day. I think it was 32-6. So the Bearcats had a pretty easy time with the Eagles in week 1. They'll play a team that lost to that team.
Right,
so you think the Bearcats will be a heavy favorite next week. It might be a get-right game for them. In the end zone, back in the end zone, that one skipping around incomplete. Having a chance at it was Forston, and he almost had it on that back shoulder.
Yeah, just caught it a bit behind him right there. Yeah. Maybe a bit more on that throw. Obviously, if it hits your hands, you expect to catch the football. But, yeah, definitely, as we see a replay right here. So, again, we'll see how just where this throw was and hit him right in the hands. Could have made that catch. And, yeah, just not what you want to see. If you're the receiver, you want that back when you watch it back on film. But, yeah, next week, there's a good opportunity for them at Tri-State. We'll be back right here for you.
Yes, we will.
So, 2 of us. So if you don't like us, I'm sorry. But we'll be back here for you with the Tri-State game and see the Bearcats can get back.
There's a throw back in the end zone, and there for the grab again is Jacob Smith, who is having a day. He lost the defensive backfield as the Bearcats were playing near the goal line, and he was in the back corner by himself, and it's 56-12.
He might have 4 on the day.
Yeah, I think so.
Smith. He was holding up to 4, so I think he knows how many touchdowns he has.
Yes, he is.
But this is a beautiful connection yet again, and Smith just no safety over there, and Nathaniel just behind. Simple connection for Smith to catch that football.
It just seems like the Bearcats in the secondary are getting a lot. They're getting crisscrossed. They're getting mixed up on where their coverages are supposed to be. And right after the touchdown grab, defensive coordinator Ja Valentine went to some of his defensive backs and started to explain what was happening there. And again, in a game like this, 56-12, it seems like, we're just going through the motions here. But this is still a learning opportunity for these guys. Remember, the Jersey Bearcats were an AAL2 team last year. So it's not like all of a sudden, and we spoke to A.J. Roque on opening day, and we asked him, what's the big difference between this team, this AAL team and last year's AAL2 team? And what did he say, John? He said nothing.
Yeah.
Really nothing. A lot of the same personnel, and it's just a matter of playing crisper, better football and getting the experience against teams that have really played at a high level like the Columbus Lions. So, you look at the score, you say Lions are probably going to end up 4-0 in this game, but the Bearcats, they're learning a lot of lessons in a game like this as well.
They are, and you hope that the Bearcats are a team that gets better as the season goes along, right? You don't want to peak early, none of that stuff. So the Bearcats are a team that gets better as you play tougher competition, you take in games and you learn a lot from them, and this team develops and continues to build the chemistry that they already have. You can see when this game gets back to Columbus, you'd hope it's a lot closer, obviously. It's not a complete given that you'll sit there and say, oh, this is going to be the same result once they get to Columbus, right? It's a lot to learn from this game, and there's a lot of good to kind of go back and look at, but they're definitely going to have to focus on the bad and get back to having things right here as we have a bit of a delay.
Yeah, very lengthy delay after this penalty. Both teams pointing in the other direction here. It'll be either half the distance or the Lions will back up 5 yards. Not quite sure what's happening. But
Cam's getting in there.
Yeah, he's going to find out. Cam Williams was our sideline reporter last year for the Bearcats, but he is actually now a student at the University of Miami, at the U.
Good broadcasting school.
He's back for Mother's Day weekend, and he was like, hey, if you need me. And we said, yeah, we need you. So congratulations to Cam, wrapping up year 1 at the U.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great school, great broadcasting school. They got a lot going on there. So, yeah, year one, okay.
Yeah, so on that, just encroachment on the defense and then a personal foul on the offense. So,
okay.
Big talks there. I don't know what the whole deal was and why we're still not playing, but that is all encroachment on defense and on the offense. Personal foul.
Thank you for the info, Cam. All right, good stuff.
Smooth delivery, Cam. There we go. I mean, it's interesting. You see that a lot where a play that really doesn't need to be delayed ends up getting delayed. A lot of it's about field position, where the ball actually was, clock, and all that stuff, but just glad it got right.
8:52 remaining in the third quarter. Quarter that's ground to a little bit of a halt here, but at the end of all this, it'll be first down and goal at the 12. In motion was Cradle, and it's thrown on the opposite end. Was that catch made? Yes, indeed it was. Touchdown. Wow, getting down and grabbing it. Who was that masked man?
Number 6.
Yeah, it was number 6, Forston. We lost them, obviously, in that dead corner over there where we can't see a gosh darn thing.
Really arguing for pass interference with the Bearcats here, but you couldn't see much going on in that corner.
Yep. No way they can go to the video replay there.
No, it's you cannot go back and address a penalty. So I'm very concerned for Yancey. He's been doing a lot of standing on the board. It's a tough fall.
He's trying to get on camera a lot,
he
too.
is.
He's been waving at our camera operator. I'm impressed by Alex's ability to just ignore him.
Yeah, he stayed tall. He stayed very tall.
We have a flag down at the end of the play.
Some extra juice. Espinosa's saying that's on him. What did he say? What did you say, Blaine?
Yeah. We had another look at the replay, just the aftermath there. Couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
And yeah, some of this is about chatter as well, and things that get said. So might not be able to hear that or know what they were saying, but
we'll never know.
Coach Damian comes out. He wants an explanation. Doesn't like the call. And am I wrong here, John? They did not put the score on the board, right? It's 62-12, I think, or was it 56? I don't know.
It's a lot of points.
Well, was it 56 before?
I think it was 50. Was it 56? Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, Joe Calabrese, Joe Calabrese, our engineer, brings up a good point. Wasn't that the touchdown? Where is the 2-point conversion?
That was the touchdown. That was the touchdown. Yeah, no, that was the touchdown.
Right.
So they separated to address this situation.
We have Cam. We have Cam for an explanation.
What do you got, Cam? Please help.
Yeah, so they kind of just disregarded it in a sense. There's not much to it. But we do have another personal foul on number 6 on Columbus, Jarmon Forster, who has another personal foul. And now they're still trying to figure out what's going on because that was a 2-point conversion like you guys were talking about.
So they scored on the previous play, the touchdown.
Yes.
So is that score correct? It's 58 to
58.
It should be 58.
Right. If you could ask the officials when they're done, what the correct score is, that would help us.
Sounds good.
We got all sorts of confused between the touchdown, the 2-point conversion, all that stuff.
It's been a weird last 10 minutes, Dave.
Very strange. Thank you.
I think even AJ has the tablet in his hand, trying to figure out like what is going on.
In my head, that was the touchdown. I thought. I guess it just.
And meanwhile, we have like a timeout going on the opposite side of the field.
They're doing the games here with the flag football team. And
all right, let's see. We have a personal foul on the Lions.
So there is still 8:32 left in the third quarter, Dave, and 58 points are on the board. So that is true. Right. That's a true statement.
It's 58-12. Yes. So there was a touchdown. It was the touchdown in the back of the end zone. And we said it was the number.
You know what?
It was his fourth.
Yes.
Right.
It took that long to get to the 2-point conversion that everyone got slipped up, I think.
Right. All right. So there we go.
Yes.
All right. So
Smith
with this timeout,
Smith touchdown, forced a 2-point conversion. We're good.
And we have a break,
fouls.
a third quarter break. And with this break in the quarter, we'll let you know that this timeout is sponsored by the CMXI Med Bar in Long Branch. You've seen their commercial. Located in the heart of Long Branch, CMXI Med Bar is a luxury medical wellness destination designed to help you recharge, recover, and perform at your best. Offering services like IV hydration therapy, vitamin injections, and advanced recovery treatments in a relaxed spa-like setting. Led by Dr. Angela Roque, CMXI blends clinical expertise with a modern wellness experience, catering to athletes, busy pros, and anyone looking to boost energy, enhance recovery, and support overall health with personalized, medically guided care. Visit them at cmximedbar.com or call 908-923-2694. Thank you to our friends at CMXI Med Bar. We're going to throw it back down to Cam Williams.
Yeah, so I just talked with one of the officials, and the official actually asked me, was the 2-point conversion good? I said, I believe so. I said, I saw him in the corner. I saw the sign. It is good. So, yes, that is the correct score,
Awesome.
58-12. So you made the call.
I guess it was up to me.
So Cam is our, fifth official? There are 4?
Fifth official?
Yeah, fifth official / sideline reporter. Yeah. Great job, Cam.
You know it's been a long game when the official's asking me the score.
You need some more stripes on the shirt.
I know.
Yeah.
Thanks,
awesome
guys.
job. Good job. Yeah, no, because that sequence was so long, we forgot that Jacob Smith had scored his 4th touchdown, and that was only the 2-point conversion.
Right.
So
I have actually had that happen before. So I was calling a hockey game last summer, and there was a goal scored, and it was like one of those goals where you think it might have crossed the goal line, it doesn't cross the goal line, and they look at me and they go, was that a goal? I'm like, I'm calling the game. What do you want me to do? And they wanted me to go back on the video, and I'm like, we are so far. I cannot tell if that puck crossed the goal line. So, but I could have lied if I wanted to. I could have said it crossed.
And just for the record, Joe Calabrese, our engineer, also had the right score. He knew what was going on. But.
Joe Calabrese, I never worry about Joe Calabrese's knowledge. I never worry, never stress. He knows what's going on. He's aware. Fantastic engineer, so I'm not worried about it. And probably, you know what? He is the number 1 hockey color guy that I've had in my career. How about that?
There we go.
There we go. That's my guy right there. So, 8:32 left. Got that.
Yep. John and Joe and myself and a few others get to call Rockets Hockey Club Junior Hockey in Bridgewater, New Jersey, their NCDC team, which is considered their elite team, their premier side as well. And from September through March, we cover hockey for the Black Bear TV that covers junior hockey from the USPHL. John, you're also involved in some other hockey organizations as well, right?
Many. We've done other stuff, Black Bear TV and everything. Obviously, Flow Sports used to handle all of that. Now with Black Bear TV. And, it's great to do with the Rockets and PDF Sports Network, but if we spent how much time listing all the teams that I've done stuff for, we'd be here for a long time. But it appears we have a long time. So shout out to Rutgers, shout out to Ryder and everybody at Ramapo and all that. So.
Absolutely. And we should mention, too, that we've been covering arena football now for a few weeks, but soon to come on the PDF Sports Network, we have women's professional football. The Tri-State Warriors out of Camden, New Jersey will be making their debut in a few weeks, I think in early June. Same thing with the Vetera Liga, the Maple League of Finland, the top professional football league in the country of Finland. That's right, 4,000 miles away. The NFL of Finland has a home on the PDF Sports Network. We will carry a game of the week for the Vetera Liga. Later on in July, we'll have the New York State baseball and softball Little League championships. The baseball championship, the 12-year-olds will. The winner of that tournament goes on to the Mid-Atlantic Regional, and the winner of that goes to the College World Series, Little League World Series. But we have some great stuff scheduled there. We'll be doing that 2 weeks in a row in July. And then summer football kicks up. The New York Bears, the Jersey Sharks, the Elite Football Alliance. We have a lot coming up this spring and summer. Joey Ward with the return follows through a couple of blocks and ends up at about his own 20-yard line, sandwiched between a couple of Lions there. First one in was Grant Jackson and Creedle.
So I think we have football again, Dave. I think we do.
Yes, we do. We have a lot of it.
A lot of football. Right, it's 8:21 left in the third quarter. Still a lot of ball. We thank you all for tuning in and sticking around for Columbus Lions and Jersey Bearcats football here on the PDF Sports Network. But the Bearcats, again, we've talked about crazier things happening in arena football. And now get the ball back. Defense hasn't been able to get the stops you need. But Bearcats offense has been smooth when they've gotten clean offense to work. When they've gotten the snap clean, they've been great. And they've been able to find a lot of receivers over the middle, and it's something that Columbus has struggled to defend, right? When you have players like Simmons and Meekiel with a ton of speed going over the middle and up, over the top, they haven't been able to stop that a ton. So I look for that again with Simmons being the motion man.
And out of the shotgun. Snap is a good one. Four-man rush to give us to Stewart out in the slot. He gains about 1 or 2 at most there.
I believe that's his first catch of the day.
Yes, I do believe so. He was in motion a lot in the first half. He was stationary that time. Officially a gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
It's a quick play as the Bearcats just try to get things settled in, but have to find guys over the middle. They want to get. You got to score quick too. You have to start scoring quickly. That deep ball that we talk about in arena football, we're going to see a lot of it.
Yeah,
here
absolutely.
in this third quarter.
There's some building blocks here. Obviously, you're not out of the game, and you don't want to ever think that way. But for the Bearcats, you want to start building some positivity. How's that? And there is Simmons. You can't come down with that one, as that pass kind of jackknifed him a little bit, and he was hit hard by Grant Jackson coming over the middle.
Yeah, hit him low and hit him at a point where it's tough for him to hold on to that football. It's good defense by Jackson. He's knowing exactly where to go to make that hit, and just knowing when you know a guy has the football and has a chance to catch the football, if you're able to go in and disrupt the arms and disrupt the abdomen part and upper body. He went really low there, but he was able to kind of make it so it's tougher to bring that left arm down and make that play. So good job by Jackson defensively.
3rd and long coming up for the Bearcats. We'll see if the Lions send extra pressure. Right now it doesn't look like it. 3 down linemen. We'll see if they send somebody up. Try to harass Rodriguez a little bit. They do send the 4th. Rodriguez in the flat out, swatted down. Big mittens on Mikhail Yancey. And he got up there and forces a 4th and long.
Yeah, when you talk about he got up and was right there for it. Gives the official a pat as well. But Yancey, think about, a lot of talkers can't back it up. Yancey's been able to back it up today.
Yes.
And just got up, made a nice play. I think the first time we see the tip of the line specifically in this one. So
yeah. And you can tell the Bearcats want to get rid of the football quickly. I think that's a theme so far early in this second half. And that time they tried, looked to work out in the flat, but Yancey got the paw up there and thwarted the pass.
That 4th down, Columbus will get good field position with a stop.
See if they bring pressure again to the Lions. You'd have to imagine they'd bring 4. No, they actually drop back, allow time, and that pass behind Simmons just a bit. He was open. He found the spot in between the zones, but the Bearcats will turn it over on downs.
I mean, they found the zone and found spots twice, and the connections couldn't get through. But, Simmons done a good job just getting open on a lot of these plays. But this pass seemed a bit low and behind for Simmons. And, yeah, it might have been – it wasn't tipped, it doesn't look like actually. So, yeah, just low, and Simmons would be a tough catch to make for him.
58-12 is our score, 4:59 remaining in the third quarter. We have plenty of time to go and plenty of time for the Lions to add to what has been an outstanding day offensively. I would say flawless, John, at this point. They've had a couple of incomplete passes, but they haven't gone backwards. No. They haven't committed penalties. They've scored on every drive that they've had. it's just been a flawless offensive performance.
I have no notes. I really don't for this Columbus Lions offense. And it's just quick passes, getting the ball out, and they've just done everything correctly.
Back to pass. Espinoza on the short screen. It's tipped and picked off by Tariq Noble. Noble still on his feet and is taken down at the 10. First turnover of the game for the Lions. And commentators' jinx strikes again.
I have notes now.
The flawless game is now flawed.
Yeah, so when you get a ball tipped to the line, well, one, the offensive linemen have to kind of get in there and fight for that football just to get it down. But this is a great job. Noble getting the hand up and was looking for that screen pass, and Espinoza kind of has to throw that ball in the dirt. He does it. He tried to loft it up, and Noble with a fantastic job to get things going. We got a player down on the field as well and trying to be held back up.
Injury timeout on the field, but yeah, Tariq Noble caught up to him pregame, and definitely is a big part of this team's defensive line. We noted how shorthanded the Bearcats are tonight. They are without Joey Ramirez, who's nursing an injury. Ramirez had 2.5 sacks on the first game of the season that we covered, really on the first couple plays of the game. They are without Devontae LeGrand, who had 2 interceptions the last time we covered the Bearcats. They are without Brendan Perot for this game. They're without Kyle Rinsky on the offensive side of the line. So the Bearcats are down, and they're really down in the trenches, and that was a nice play by Tariq Noble, and a really athletic play, too.
Yeah, it's also been great to see Ramirez on the sideline today.
Yes.
We've seen him here and seen a lot of these guys that are down, still there, making contributions to their team. But, yeah, great play by Noble, and that's a play that could definitely spark a team to play better in the second half.
It's actually a 1st and goal here as the ball is right at the 10. They do not have a first down marker placed near the goal line, so 4 downs to score. The give is on the delay off the wide receiver, Kyle Ward, who has done a lot of running for this team in years past, but that's a loss of 3 on first down.
Yeah, it looks like Ward wearing 16 today, DeCoven Ware, so fantastic tackle by him. And he just blew this play out for the jump, just for the start. It was a very simple tackle to make when you are able to come in with a head of steam, and it's a great tackle, a great play defensively, and it's important to have that kind of play at a first down stop where you lose yardage on first down and goal especially, because now they're behind the sticks. There's no sticks, but they're just behind, and now they've got to get into the end zone with 3 plays.
Yep. Kyle Ward's one of those players. He's taken every defensive snap in this game, undoubtedly because of the loss of Devontae LeGrand as well, but he was pretty much an offensive mainstay for this team the last couple of years. High production offensive player. Now he's working out of the slot and on the run. Rodriguez looking underneath. The catch is made. There is a flag down. Meekhill made the grab at about the 10-yard line. Got back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, nice snag by Meekhill. There is laundry on the field, I see, but Meekhill made a nice play and made a catch. We'll see what that laundry ends up being.
It is going to be a false start on the defense, and I think the offsides in the defense, I think the Bearcats will take the penalty and not the result of the play. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line coming up.
Right, you'd rather not lose the down. You'd rather keep the down and still pick up similar yardage.
Yep.
So, like you mentioned, 2nd down and 8 to go. Get into the end zone. I want to set something up, and now the clock is stopped. A lot of discussions official-wise today.
Actually closer to the 5 here. 2nd and goal. Rodriguez was looking in the flat. Can't find anybody. Now gets pressure. Flag down on the play. Another flag down on the play. Coming up without a helmet was Joey Ward again. And it looks like all that extra time that Rodriguez might have had might have been because of a hold. We'll see what the calls are here.
It looks like 2 separate penalties, I'd imagine, and both of them appear to be on Columbus. Officials are trying to get the clock to stop here.
Yeah.
About 10 extra seconds ran off.
Yeah.
They're not really worried about that mattering a ton given the scoreline, but even still, it's just an interesting note. but looks like 2 separate penalties, and we'll get another long discussion here in quarter number 3.
This game is ground to a halt, I'll tell you that, John.
Yeah.
See if we get the official signal. It was a 2nd down and goal from the 5, and it's going to be an automatic 1st down for the Bearcats. So this has to be a personal foul.
There was a holding in the back of the end zone against Simmons, it looked like. So some kind of personal foul, maybe if it was pass interference.
Yeah, it was roughing the passer. They just made the.
I'm wrong.
Just made it, yeah.
I'm trying to make a call.
Save it for Cam. You know?
Yeah, that's Cam's job. He's our 5th official. He's right there. See if he is. We'll hear from him after the game as well. So
1st and goal from the 3 or the 2.5, and we've been in this position before as well. In fact, this was a mirror image of the first drive of the game, where the Bearcats were, thanks to a couple penalties, were inside the 5-yard line. Nas Adams was in the game at that time. Now it's Joey Ward, who has a smaller frame but runs just as hard. However, he's the up back. This might be a keeper here for Rodriguez. We'll keep our eye on that, and indeed it is.
Okay,
Tries
Dave.
to look through a couple of blocks, gets it to the 1. He's going to be short. That ball came out but late. And at the 1-yard line, the Bearcats will have 2nd and goal.
Great call by you. I think you've called football before, right?
Yes.
So, good stuff. But, yeah, it was a keeper all the way, and we definitely saw it. So, it's something that I expected more of in this game. And we kind of were expecting it a lot earlier, too. But first time we see Rodriguez get some motion there in terms of making a carry himself. And they might also let this quarter run. Yeah, but they definitely have the play clock to worry about, too. But
let's see where they wind the play clock here. 30 seconds left. We just got the whistle for the play clock to start.
So they'll let it run, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe get one more play in.
Yeah, it could be the final play of the quarter. Not sure if they need to run a play here, but the Bearcats are fixing to do so. Trying to match Columbus's 2 touchdowns in this quarter with the 2nd one for them. Under 10 seconds to go. You see it on your screen. Meek Hill is in motion. And a flag down. Full start on the Bearcats. They'll back up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 6.
We could do the whole errors point again if we wanted to, but I think the audience would prefer if we did it.
I think we've exhausted that. And again, one of the things that we do here on PDF as well is we do stats at the conclusion of these games. We usually do them the following morning for Coach A.J. Roque, and then he sends them to the team, and he highlights things like penalties, turnovers, and things for them to look at. And I think that's going to be one of the highlighted points in tomorrow's box score update, the penalties.
I would tend to agree for sure.
2nd and goal. Rodriguez back to pass. He's going to look back at the end zone through the uprights. No points scored on that one. That's the end of the 3rd quarter as well.
Kick is good for 0. Yeah, that'll end the 3rd quarter.
So at the end of 3 quarters complete, the Lions 58-12 over the Bearcats, on their way to 4-0 this season. And right now, the only thing pretty much in doubt is the score, and the Bearcats trying to take a few steps in a positive direction, getting ready for Tri-State next week.
Yeah, it's a big thing to look forward to, right? Building momentum in this 4th quarter to look at next week. And again, I'm never a fan of calling a game before it's over when you have a whole quarter left to go, but the scoreline says a pretty glaring difference here. So, but, the Bearcats still can make plays and try to get back in this game. Time can move a lot slower in the game of football. But we're going to hear from Cam. Let's get Cam back out here.
Yeah, going into the 4th quarter, the Bearcats are down 12-58. Bearcats need a lot of scoring here left. Blaine Espinoza has made his first mistake of the game, if that's any positive. He's thrown for 8 touchdowns, but now he has an interception. That was huge for the defense. But they still need to capitalize and minimize the mistakes. It's getting a little out of hand now with 15 minutes left, but still just clean up the offense, clean up the defense, and let's look for a solid 4th quarter as Bearcats hopefully can maybe right the ship a little bit and show some promises the rest of this game.
Absolutely, Cam. Thank you so much for that. And now we have the Lady Bearcats who will take the field one last time before we get our 4th quarter started. And it's a good chance for the Bearcats to really discuss what they want to do here on 3rd down and goal from the 7-yard line. And, really, John, this has been their Achilles heel in the game. Goal goal-to-goal situations. They do have one touchdown in the game, I think, from a goal-to-goal situation, but other than that, they've come up empty each time.
They have that interception with the golden football that could have really made this game a game at the end of the day. So it's mistakes in the red zone, it's mistakes this close to the end zone. It's been tough to deal with, and Columbus has done a great job with their own defense at this point of the field. They are a great red zone defense team, so we're seeing a lot of that. But, yeah, this is a point where the Bearcats, if you're a Bearcat, you want to at least just get the ball in the end zone from this point to kind of erase the zero in terms of goal-to-goal, except for the one touchdown, obviously. So you want to give yourself an opportunity here. But this is a point where you got to have it.
Absolutely. And, again, just like you said, you don't like to call games before it's over. But with only 15 minutes left, it's only 15 minutes to hang your hat on something positive and win a quarter. And, the Bearcats came close to winning a quarter, matching stride for stride with the Lions, but even in that third quarter, the Lions scoring 2 touchdowns to the Bearcats 1, and the Bearcats trying to win a quarter here on their home field. But
I didn't process Blade Espinoza having 8 passing touchdowns.
No, me neither. That was news to me, But very fair. They really haven't run the football at all. And I think one of the touchdowns was a rushing touchdown. Remember the keeper, very first one.
The tush push.
The tush push, yeah.
The back
push.
The lower back push. Chiropractor, the play is called.
Nice. 3rd and goal. Rodriguez, flush to the right, doubles back to the left. Back of the end zone, Simmons makes the grab. A beauty of a grab. Went over Denoris Wardlow to make it, and the Bearcats are back in the scoring column. It's 58-18.
That's a beautiful. We talked about beautiful throws from Blaine Espinoza, but this is a fantastic throw by Mateo Rodriguez. A fantastic throw by Mateo Rodriguez. A beautiful throw. Get it.
Yeah, as John was trying to say, a beautiful throw as we lost a little bit of our audio feed here. So we'll get you back live here. The Bearcats making it a 40-point game, 58-18 on the 3rd and goal catch for a touchdown. And a good response there. See if they can add 2 more. Rodriguez getting harassed, dropping it down low underneath, and the catch was made by Joey Ward for the 2-point conversion. Nice little play there going underneath and finding Ward through a couple of trees there. We'll have to get another look at that last play. And we'll take a look at it. We didn't get another chance to see the touchdown, but let's take a look at the 2-point conversion here. And then we'll get you back to the kickoff. But it's a nice job by Rodriguez. He's getting some pressure there to off of his right side. And, yeah, just Joey Ward in the low zone. He kind of got, above DeAndre Brown, the linebacker, underneath. And the Bearcats are able to add their 3rd score of the game to make it a 38-point game. That's what the score was at halftime. It was 44-6. And now both teams have scored 14 points here in half number 2. And the Bearcats open the scoring in the 4th quarter. We understand that we've lost our color commentator, John McCooch, for the rest of the game. We want to say a thank you to John as we have to go back, of course, and adjust our audio because we lost our video feed. And here in this re-rendering of the game, we are able to get back at least the part of the game that we lost yesterday. So we're grateful for that and being able to get the film on tape for the Columbus Lions and the Jersey Bearcats. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi played havoc on this game all game long. That one skips and is taken by the up man. That was Forston, and he's able to get it down under the 20-yard line. And we saw the first tackle of the game for the Bearcats for number 34, Dante Morgan on special teams. Morgan, one of the draft picks for the Bearcats that occurred the day after we had the first game of the season for the Bearcats. We were making light of the fact that head coach A.J. Roquet had to, leave the game as soon as it was over, go right on his plane to Columbus where the draft took place. And the Bearcats have 2 players that they drafted on the active roster. We have not seen Gavin Bunt in this game, but He's wearing number 26, and Dante Morgan, who just made that tackle on specials, wearing number 35. Espinoza stays in the game. 1st and 10 from the Bearcats 18. Fade pattern and a timing pattern. Perfect. Over the shoulder and another grab. And don't tell me that that was Jacob Smith again. Indeed it was. I think that's his 5th touchdown now. And Jacob Smith, have a day, young man. Wow. Continuing to impress. And a career day for him, no doubt. And just like that, the Columbus Lions add another 6 in the scoring column, and passes just don't get any better than that. Don't have a replay for you as the reset of our broadcast prevented us from grabbing that replay, but we've got ourselves set up from here on in. 64-20 is your score. 2-point conversion upcoming. They get the running back in motion, looking back at the end zone. That was tipped and picked off and intercepted by Pusey. Pusey taken out from behind. Looks like he was pushed from behind by Jacob Smith, the touchdown scorer. And got somebody slow getting up on the Bearcat side. Looks like Tariq Noble getting up slowly here. Medical staff will get over to him. But I don't have the exact numbers, obviously, but I think that's the 3rd one-play drive for the Lions today. I remember them scoring on just one play on 2 other occasions. That might have even been their 4th one-play score. But the Lions just deadly all game long. Again, it was a short kickoff, taken well, and positioned at the Bearcats' 16-yard line, and Blaine Espinoza with touchdown number 9 of the game. He's had 8 in the air and 1 on the ground here tonight. So early stages, 4th quarter, and the Bearcats back down by 44. And again, the Lions continue to have a response. They've scored on every drive but 1 in this game. That 1 was the interception. As you can see the time on your screen in the top right, looks like 10:08 remaining in this 4th. And getting us ready to get going again is Jesse Riverio. And we'll see if the Bearcats again can continue to draw some blood here in this 4th quarter, hang their hat on some positivity before they get ready for Tri-State next week. That's a good kick towards the sideline, taken by Joey Ward. Good sidestep at midfield and gains Lions territory at about the 20-yard line. I think Ward might have lost his helmet on that, being obscured by the speaker here. But they do get it to about the 20-yard line of the Lions. And I lost my partner, John McCooch, but something that we commented on throughout the evening is the one thing that the Bearcats really can't say was a negative in this game was starting field position. They've had good starting field position pretty much throughout the game. The exception was that drive that started in the 2nd quarter at their own 3-yard line. I think that was actually the drive that they scored on, if I'm not mistaken. And that was really their worst starting field position of the day. Other than that, they've really been set up well, and now they'll start 1st and 10 from the Lions' 22-yard line. The Bearcats trying to get themselves into a respectable situation before this game ends. Remember, the golden ball is also in effect. They've opted not to use it here on this drive. In motion at the top of your screen, Rodriguez does have some good time looking in the corner, but it finds the net and no one home. That might have been just thrown away as nothing developing down deep for Mateo Rodriguez. We're going to see another look at that just to kind of appreciate what some of the routes were downfield, if we can pick them up and try to see what Mateo Rodriguez was seeing. And yeah, it looks like Philip Meekhill might have stumbled coming out of his break in the middle of the field, but he might have been the best option on that play right in the middle of the field. Didn't pan out, obviously, and it'll be a 2nd and 10 instead. Meekhill is in the slot right now. They go heavy at the top of your screen. Now down low, Ward was in motion. Mateo Rodriguez going to take it himself and slides down after a modest gain of about 3 on the play, giving himself up. That'll bring up about a 3rd and 7 coming up. Other important thing about this game, the Bearcats do not have a second quarterback dressed for this game, so you wonder who would take the snaps if Rodriguez gets hurt, but that's a smart decision by Rodriguez. Down by 44 points in the fourth quarter. You got 2 white jerseys bearing down at you. Go ahead and give yourself up. Live to see another down here. The Bearcats would hate to lose any of their starters in a game like this in the fourth quarter. They come around on the arc. That one throw middle of the field. Nice catch made by Philip Meekhill, and he's in for the touchdown. Good response by the Bearcats again. And Philip Meekhill, seems like all he does is score touchdowns for this team. Found himself open in the middle of the field. Great job by Rodriguez to find him. That was a good throw that time. And the Bearcats have clapped back again, and they score to make it 64-26. Get another look at it. Yeah, Meekhill was in the slot. Just a simple 10-yard slant over the middle. And again, you split the defenders. The high safety was Droel Green. He wasn't in good position on that play. And then the flip by Meekhill to complete the touchdown. And the Bearcats obviously will go for 2 here. Ward stays and shifts from right to left. See what the Bearcats draw up here. Will they run? Will they throw? In fact, it'll be Rodriguez coming out, sliding to the right, now back of the end zone, and that one is thrown up high. No play to be made. And the score remains 64-26, right where it's at. So back and forth they go, exchanging scores here in a game that has pretty much gotten out of hand as we headed into halftime. Our halftime score was 44-6, so you could do the math. Both teams have scored 20 points here in half number 2. And the Bearcats, in their bid to make this a respectable ball game again, have gotten a little closer, and we'll see if they can get the stops that they need here. You see it on top of your screen, still 8:31 to go, so still over half a quarter remaining in this one. Again, we thank our great crew here at Warananko, all the people at Warananko Arena. Our engineer tonight was Joe Calabrese, our camera operator Alex Paramithis. We were supposed to have a second camera on the field. It just was not functioning for us. We didn't have the right equipment to operate that camera on the field remotely. And our Wi-Fi did not cooperate throughout the game. That's the reason why John is off the broadcast. We lost his audio as well as that dropped out on us. So you got me for the rest of the evening. The final 8:31 of this one. Hernandez Paez to get things started after the Bearcats' second touchdown of the quarter. Gets into this one. It's a line drive kick. It skips around at the 20. Almost got past the up, and that ball's a live ball. And getting on top of it were the Lions on the second opportunity to fall on top of it. They'll have to start at the 17-yard line, and there is a flag down. That was some toss of the flag. It looks like getting on top of the ball at the end of it all was Ververio, and he wasn't the one that tried to field it initially. I think it was actually Jacob Smith who tried to corral it, lost it near the sideline. Ververio was there, however, to make the recovery. And again, we'll have a little bit of a delay here as we get whatever the penalty was. And it looks like someone has been ejected from the game. And we are going to have an ejection. And it looks like it is going to be Nas Adams, number 9. He's the only one who's coming out of the game right now. So Nas Adams, I think, picked up his second personal foul and has been removed. So that's not going to make the coaches any happier here for the Bearcats. And instead of starting inside their own 20, the Columbus Lions are going to start right at midfield. And we should mention that our new quarterback, Michael Hill, is in the game for the Columbus Lions. So Blaine Espinosa's day is done, and without the opportunity to make it 10 touchdowns in the game. He had 8 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. The rushing touchdown actually started the game, started the scoring off. A couple of 2-point conversion tosses as well. So big day for Blaine Espinosa. But his day is done, and Michael Hill will take over from here. I think Jacob Smith is still in the game, and I think he's got 5 touchdowns. Lost count after a while. And actually, Nas Adams has come back into the game, so maybe he was not tossed. And coming out of the game just now was Shea, I believe, came out. So maybe he was the one tossed, number 55. But no, Nas Adams is back, and he's playing defensive end. So the Bearcats running back, who started the game at running back, is now playing right defensive end. Somebody got tossed, and right now at the line of scrimmage, I see Claude Jones-Jules. I see Aziz Timms and Nas Adams, so maybe Tariq Noble was the one who got tossed. Hard to say. We don't have that information relayed to us. But anyway, we are set to finally get back underway. Hill will work under center. Running star. It looks like they might have gotten offside there a little bit, but the timing pattern in the end zone wide open. And the touchdown caught by William Langford. And he was the one who was in motion, and I could have sworn he was offside by just a hair. We'll take another look at it, and we'll slow it down as well. But I thought Langford was a little bit past the line of scrimmage here, and he gets off to a flying start, and as a result, he scores the touchdown. Let's take another look. He's a little off. He was about a half a step offside, but nevertheless, Nathaniel was playing catch-up. He's a good 2 feet, 3 feet behind him, and Langford makes that look easy. And how about Michael Hill? 1 for 1 with a 25-yard touchdown. And there's a perfect quarterback rating for you right there. And the shovel is over to Lee, grinding and pounding his way in for the 2-point conversion. How about that for some extra effort? Marco Lee with an extra 2 for the Columbus Lions, and they extend the lead to 72-26. And I'll tell you what, the Jersey Bearcats, they've scored 20 points in this half, but they have had absolutely no time to enjoy any of their scores. I think after each one of their touchdowns, the Lions scored on one play in a response. And as a result, the positive feelings that were going on here at Warananko and on the Jersey sidelines just been stifled again. That is one twisted score on your screen for sure. 72-26, and we'll take a look at the time left in a few moments. Yeah, 6:47 remaining, so we got a good look at it right there. So still, for all intents and purposes, we're just over the midway point of the fourth quarter. The Lions' high water mark of the season, 79 points. They beat the Tri-City River Gators by a score of 79-0 in that game. They scored 46 against the Miners and then 62 last week, sorry. But how about the scoring that this Lions team has done through the first 4 games of the season? And they'll play the rest of the AAL each one more time. Try and stay perfect there. Good kick towards the sideline, corralled by Joey Ward at the 5. Ward skips to his right, dances past 1, and then gets held up. Helmet comes off. Ware made the tackle. Couple of penalty flags fly. And Ward got held up at about the 20-yard line. Again, there was a flag down here. Ward ended up without a helmet, so we'll see what the call is here. Ward's helmet has come off a bunch of times in this game. It's either a few sizes too big or, like we referenced It's got some extra virgin olive oil in there. It's really coming off pretty slick, but they have picked up the flag, so indeed there was no flag on the play. And so the Bearcats will get the ball exactly where Ward was taken down at the 20-yard line, perhaps just a hair past it or a hair in front of it. So the Bearcats, who've scored 3 times in this second half, including twice in the fourth quarter, will try and add some more here before the clock ticks down to 0. After the dancing and the music ceases, here we go. The Bearcats, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Rodriguez barking out the signals. The Lions ready to go. Another bad snap. And Rodriguez has to get on top of it. He's taken down in the end zone, but they're going to rule him down at about the 2-yard line. An 18-yard loss on the play on another failed snap. And you could see how much the Bearcats have missed Kyle Rinsky in this game. Elijah McKenzie has done the best he can under center, but there have been too many of these right here. Here's another bad snap. Skips twice in front of Rodriguez. Does well to actually pick it up and perhaps was looking to maybe toss that one away if he had a little bit of time, but by the time he picked that one up, 3 white jerseys on him, and it'll be 2nd down and 28, and there's not, again, too many plays you could draw up here. Let's see if the Lions bring in some extra pressure. They don't. In fact, they stand up at the line of scrimmage for the most part, and that one is dropped, and that one's just behind Philip Meekhill. And that's a tough one because Meekhill actually adjusted his route on that play. We'll pick it up in the replay in just a moment, but Meekhill was actually sitting down in the zone, and he kind of darted to his right side, and he was wide open. You're going to see it here. If this is a good pass, and if this is on Meekhill's outside shoulder, look at him in the middle of the field. He's gone. If that's on his outside shoulder, he could still be running. But that pass just a little bit underneath and missed time. Tough play to make. Obviously, that's an adjustment of the route. Meekhill was just sitting in the short zone. But 3rd down and 28 now. What do the Bearcats have lined up on this one? It will be Meekhill who comes in on the running start, top of your screen. Thought he was off. Wide open. Meekhill can't make the catch. That one is just underthrown again, but wide open was Philip Meekhill, and it'll be 4th down instead of 6 points on the board for the Bearcats. And I don't know if the safety just missed him there. We're going to see it a little bit in slow-mo, but take a look at how wide open Philip Meekhill is on this play. He's the one in motion, and safety never goes with him. You could see the distance, and man, oh man, that's probably a catch Meekhill has to adjust and make, but you wonder if the roof had something to do with that as well. The low roof forces Rodriguez to throw a line drive instead of maybe lofting that one up in stride. And instead of 6 points, it's a 4th and 28. It's been that kind of night for the Jersey Bearcats. Can they convert here? Good snap that time. Rodriguez wants it all, and that one is almost intercepted. And perhaps just as well, because that will set the Columbus Lions up 1st and goal from the Bearcats' 2-yard line. And it was Droel Green who almost came down with it. We're going to get another look at that one as well. We'll slow it down for you because Droel Green almost made a great catch here, almost one-handed. We'll take a look. And again, the Bearcats were just kind of looking for the home run here, but take a look at Droel Green almost had it, almost Odell'd it with the one hand. Instead, he doesn't make the catch, but comes back and says, I meant to do that. I meant to drop it. I knew what was at stake. I'm giving my team the ball at the 2-yard line. We'll have a timeout on the field here. Looks like we'll have the potato sack race coming up. Give us a chance to let you know what's on tap here on the PDF Sports Network. Next week, we will be back here in the Warananko Arena. We'll have all 3 of our hot spots. We'll try to make it work as best as we can, but the Bearcats will take on the Tri-State Panthers. The Panthers lost to the New Jersey Eagles on the opening day of the season, 32-6. And the Bearcats defeated the Eagles pretty easily in their home opener. So you would think on paper that the Jersey Bearcats will be a heavy favorite next week, but we will be there. Joe Foreman, John McCooch, myself, and perhaps a couple of other Pizzutos will be there as well. My daughters might be joining the broadcast as camera operators for that one as they finish out their high school careers and get ready for college. And if they are listening tonight or if they catch this on the replay, I want to congratulate my 2 daughters on the selection of their colleges that they made on May 1st, one heading to Savannah, Georgia. So to the delight of some of these Columbus Lions fans who might be listening, my daughter here from Jersey heading to Savannah for the Savannah College of Art and Design. My other daughter Liliana, going to Wheaton College in Massachusetts. So congratulations to them and all the parents who have kids going off to college. And potato sack race is on the way. It's a relay race, actually, and looks like the young man in black is the man to beat, and 25 not missing a beat on his own. Big hops. And it is going to be the gentleman on the right in number 25 beating up on the older kids here on Youth Night. So a lot of fun here in New Jersey, and I guess you could say northerner Jersey, in Roselle here. It's home field for these Jersey Bearcats since the inception of the AAL2. 2023, the Bearcats won the AAL championship. They dropped only 1 game all season. That was the season opener to the team that they eventually beat in the championship, the Steel City Stampede. In 2024, the Wheeling Miners won the AAL2, and they defeated the Peach State Cats in the championship that year. The Wheeling Miners actually defeated the Jersey Bearcats in the semifinals to go on to beat the Peach State Cats in the championship. And then last year, it was the Minnesota Wolfpack, who are in the AAL, who defeated the Jersey Bearcats in the championship, 32-29 in a wild AAL2 championship game that was played right here on the PDF Sports Network. Our friends Joe Foreman and Nick Bavona carried the call of that one. Wild in so many different senses. Comebacks, returned extra points for points, field goals, you name it. It had everything, and a little bit of controversy in the final play of the game, which was a walk-off touchdown for the the Mississippi Wolfpack. 3:08 remaining in this one. The finishing touches of this one, perhaps, the Columbus Lions, who have had a series of one-play touchdowns in this game, have been gifted a 1st and goal from the Bearcats' 2-yard line after the Bearcats went negative 18 yards on their last drive. Michael Hill, again, is the quarterback of record. Little quarterback sneak, and second effort did not get there. The Bearcats were there. Claude Jones-Jules making the tackle, along with gentleman I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, Dante Morgan, fresh off AAL2 and dressed here, and they'll go 2nd and goal now from the 1. The Lions want to go pretty quickly here. Hill takes it again by himself, reverses over to the left side between guard and tackle, and is in for the touchdown. And so the Lions get another step closer to their high water mark of the season. They now lead the Bearcats 78-26 on Michael Hill's 2nd touchdown of the game. 1 in the air and now 1 on the ground. And Hill comes right back in the game along with Jacob Smith for the extra point attempt, or this should say the 2-point conversion. And if they're successful here, it'll be an even 80 for the Columbus Lions to close out this one. Will they go power again and try to punch it in? No, instead, the lefty, Michael Hill, throwing in the back of the end zone, and that is off the fingertips and incomplete. That has to be the first dropped pass of the game by Langford. And, that was Riverio who dropped it. And so the 2-point conversion is no good. And so the score remains 78-26. We'll undoubtedly see the scoreboard in just a moment to let you know how much time is left. We'll see how close the Columbus Lions were to scoring points 79 and 80, but Riverio's calling for it. Yeah, that one hit him right in the fingertips and off the shoulder pad, and they don't come much better looking than that. And you could tell the Lions bench area and some of the players in the field, they really wanted that 2 points. 1:48 remaining in regulation time, and the Lions are up by 52 points. They led by 38 at halftime, and there are plus 14 in this half so far. The clock is running here, 1:20 to go, so they've let the clock run here these final couple of minutes, and it looks like the Lions just noticed that they looked up, and they're actually looking up at the clock now, and perhaps to kick this off with exactly 1 minute left. So the clock continues to run. Indeed, it's a line drive, a one-hopper that hits off the top of the glass. So that is automatically a dead ball, and the Bearcats will have the ball right where it went out, which is probably just shy of midfield. So like we mentioned, next week, the Bearcats at home. After that, they will not be home again until June 6th. And June 6th promises to be a pretty busy day for us. We're going to have the Jersey Bearcats on PDF Sports Network, and at the same exact time, we're going to have the Tri-State Warriors women's football team that play out of Camden, New Jersey. We will have that game as well. I believe the Tri-State Warriors start their game 1 hour earlier. And then on that same weekend, on June 7th, we will have the debut of the Vetera Liga, the Maple League, the top professional football league in the country of Finland, essentially the NFL of the country of Finland. They make their Season 2 debut on PDF on June 7th. The defending champion, Porvo Butchers, will be on hand taking on the Tempari Saints. Rodriguez on 1st and 10, looks down low and finds Kyle Ward underneath. He was left open there, and the Bearcats on one play are able to convert a first down with 40 seconds remaining. Clock does stop inside of a minute every time a player goes out of bounds or anytime there is a natural dead ball. And I mentioned 1st and 10. It is actually a 1st and goal, as that puts them at the 9-yard line. So we'll see if the Bearcats can end this game with the ball in their hands or with them in the end zone. They have plenty of time. We've seen multiple drives happen inside of a minute. Ward is outflanked to the left. Simmons is over on the near side. Meekhill is your slot receiver, and he's going to be going from right to left. Another low snap. And Rodriguez, all he could do is get on top of it, and he takes a wallop of a hit by DeCoven Ware, and another huge loss as clock will stop here. And don't have to worry about the distance. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 25-yard line. That is a loss of 16 yards on the bad snap. And I'll tell you what, this Lions team knows how to dance. Check out Brown. You got DeCoven Ware working it with him. Some guys in the linebacking core. Looks like getting involved as well is Mikhail Yancey. Seen him dance pretty much all game long, and pretty much a dance off. And which one of the Lions wins MVP based on that? You guys at home can be the judge and jury there. 2nd down and goal from the 25-yard line following the 16-yard loss on the poor snap. This snap is a good one. Rodriguez back to pass, looking, and that one's intercepted. A one-handed pick and a good one, and going and past the 20-yard line. And we'll have to see. It looks like that was that Forston playing defense back there? Hard to pick up the number. Certainly did look like it. Either that or it was Cradle, number 8, 6 or 8. We'll get the right number in just a moment. That was Cradle who made the interception, and that will actually do it for the game. So we are final here in Warananko, and it was all Lions from start to finish. The Lions just executed complete control, and you see it. It shows on the scoreboard a 52-point win, 78-26. That'll do it for us here on the PDF Sports Network. My name is David Pizzuto. For our color commentator, who we lost, and we apologize for that, John McCooch. Our sideline reporter, Cameron Williams. Our engineer tonight, Joe Calabrese. And, of course, our camera operator, Alex Paramithis. We thank you for joining us here on the PDF Sportsnet. Once again, your final score, the Columbus Lions, 78. The Jersey Bearcats, 26. We'll see you next week for more Jersey Bearcats football here on the PDF Sports Network. Thanks for joining us, everybody.